Hello and welcome everybody, it is Wes here, and today we're going to be doing Let's Spy on Them. Alright, it has been a while since I've done this video, so hopefully it is a good one. Alright, if you are new to my channel, you can always find the timestamps in the comments section. Look for my name, it'll be highlighted and pinned. You can click show more info and you'll see all the blue links there to go to whatever zodiac sign you want to watch. Alright, this video is about an ex-partner, and pretty much all my videos are, except for mystery person, so please keep that in mind. And if you don't have an ex-partner, then I really don't know what to tell you, but hey, if you want to watch and stick around, I still would appreciate it, alright? Next thing is, with tarot, please keep in mind that not every message, and it doesn't matter if I'm reading the cards or somebody else is reading the cards, I don't care who they are, not every message can apply to every single situation. So please use your judgment when you are listening to a tarot reading if it sounds like your situation and it makes sense to you. If it doesn't, let's not force things to try and fit your situation, all right? It's not a huge problem, but you know, every once in a while there's somebody trying to make somebody from 20 years ago fit into a situation. It's just not how tarot is supposed to work. You'll know when a message is for you, all right? And if I don't get you today, then maybe my next reads will, all right? Thank you for all the people that have subscribed to the channel, who like the videos, and leave comments on my videos to show your support or leave some nice feedback. I always do appreciate when you guys do that, so thank you. Kudos to you. All right. I think that's about it. And lastly, if you need to get a hold of me, my email's in the description box of this video. You can just shoot me an email if you have some feedback or you have a question or you want a personal reading. All right. So yeah, we'll see where today's reads go. See where the energy flows. All right. All right. Aries, you are the first sign. Tell me about the person our Aries wants to spy on. Who's this person? What can we know? What can I know? So two cards come out. It says the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. I don't want to make any firm statement on this, but this is potentially suggesting somebody that wanted an opportunity or attempted to have an opportunity with you in some way, shape, or form. But Five of Swords is not good because it can suggest that a degree of fumbling the football. It's actually a lot worse than that, but we'll see what else comes out here. So this could be with the Five of Swords here, somebody that is, I don't want to say a grievance, but some type of annoyance with an Aries. Maybe things didn't go how they wanted it to, or they got rejected, or maybe you told this person no in some way, shape, or form. I don't really know. All right, but one would ask the question, why would it suggest Five of Swords? So we'll see what else comes out, Aries. Tell me about this person that we're spying on for Aries. What are they thinking towards Aries? Okay. It says Five of Wands immediately. So this reading, I can tell you with 75%, probably around that level, 75% level of certainty that whoever this person is somebody that may have had some degree of conflict with you. This could have been an argument, disagreement, or it was neither of those things and it was just you guys butting heads or someone pouting. All right? It doesn't have to be a full-blown argument, but Five of Wands can also be somebody quarreling or disagreeing with somebody. So the reversal is suggesting in their thoughts an exiting of that. All right? When might this conflict or whatever this spat might have been, or when could it have taken place, should I say? Kind of jumbling my words here. Have a bit of a headache, so I'm trying to power through that and praying that some Tylenol is going to remove that headache. So hopefully it will. But my guess here, Aries, is that this is like either recent or it's somebody maybe even from a couple months ago. With Ace of Pentacles could also tell us like something had been established between the both of you and it didn't go so well. All right. Maybe someone blew it. I don't really know. There's so many potential reasons for why something ended. But this is showing in their thoughts immediately some type of de-escalation or resolution. What else are they thinking towards Aries? The person we're spying on for Aries says temperance reversed, imbalance between the both of you. So at this point, we've gone from 75% to about 100% that this is a reading about a person that is at odds with you, Aries. But they're recognizing that the odds between, like, that you and them are on different playing fields. Maybe this could have been political differences. You know, you guys kind of started out like talking about something and it got a bit heated. You got a bit annoyed because you didn't like something they said, or they got annoyed about something you said. That could be a great example here. Something. I don't think political issues in the past probably would have dissolved connections, but most certainly in today's world, I mean, you get people that just fly off the rails when it comes to politics. So that's why I'm saying that now, because it's possible. People love goes off the table. It's like, now we're doing a political conversation. All right, forget about love. Don't care about the date. We're talking politics, baby. All right. If it's nothing to do with that, fill in the blank, Aries. It could have been anything. It's going to be different for a lot of you in what this could be. Maybe you expected more of this person, another example, and they're like, dude, I'm doing a lot already, and I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Excuse my language. I'm trying not to cuss. YouTube does not like language. We have to be calm for everybody. Calm for everybody. Somebody might get scared. All right, YouTube. How does this person see Aries? The person that we're spying on for Aries? I don't even know what are the questions for this reading? Oh, wow. I'm not even supposed to ask this question, but whatever. Okay, a card comes out. They see you as Six of Wands reversed. Somebody that they did not have a successful outcome with. Okay. In worst case scenarios, and this is like the worst, and this is if somebody was really annoyed, Six of Wands reversed would just in plain English say, they see you as a loser. But I don't think it's that far. I think it's just suggesting somebody it didn't work out with. All right. I mean, Six of Wands is you failed. So this person, in my opinion, has a very kind of, I don't want to say pessimistic, but there's this energy is leaning towards that. A bit of a pessimistic view towards an Aries. But they're still thinking about you. So clearly there's something they like. Two of Pentacles just fell out for whatever reason. Without any context, I'm immediately going to think that this is somebody that, given what I just said, that they were thinking about you, that stability is something that they're wanting with you, because that card would represent that. So and I find it also interesting. We had the ace here and we got the 2 here. So how do we get this opportunity past that? So essentially the initial start into something that's stable. Like, how do I not get Aries to hate me? How do I do that? How do I do that? What is this person hiding from Aries? The person that we're spying on for Aries says 4 of Wands. So this person is still wanting a connection with you. All right. This could, some tarot readers, and I've even done this, I'm guilty myself, might immediately jump to the worst case and say, they're hiding a connection. And again, I'm guilty, because in some cases I do think that's going on, but very rarely. But I don't think that's suggestive here. This is likely a person that is still wanting a connection potentially with you. But in my opinion, Aries, I think they're just imagining that or thinking about the best case scenario. Like, what does that look like? What would me and Aries in an apartment look like? Us doing our thing, So I think this person, even if there's imbalance or something, is still wonders about a connection with you. All right. The only time I think I would more lean towards they're hiding a connection of some sort is if we're seeing signs of cheating here or something like that. I'm just not seeing that. And some of you may say, well, yeah, they did cheat on me. Well, that may be the case, but we're not seeing it here. All right, so I just have to read what the energy shows, and it's not leaning towards that. If this person came around to Aries unexpectedly, how would Aries feel towards them? Says 3 of Pentacles reversed, so that is not the greatest, because it's kind of suggests you may not want to cooperate with this person or be reluctant to do so. In other words, you might be more resistant to them. Why would that be the case? And it says 5 of Swords, because of conflict that happened, which should show it in the beginning here. So here is my final impression for this reading, Aries. The biggest question for this reading is, what was this? 5 of Swords it's a bad card. All right, it's not a good card in the tarot. It does have the problem where it talks about selfish motives. In other words, somebody chose me. All right. Relationships take 2 to tango, and in a perfect world, you'd both love and care for each other just the right way. But we all know that there are connections where, unfortunately, somebody may have a big ego, or they want things to go a certain way. Maybe they're a control freak. Maybe they get pouty when they don't get what they want. I don't really know. All right, that may ruffle the feathers and cause some problems. All right, but what does that problem look like to you? Because in the end, even if somebody got their way and it was one-sided, the 5 of Swords talks about a loss, not just for them, but for you as well. In other words, it didn't work out. Nobody got anything. Bummer. This is suggesting they're still thinking about you, but they're thinking about what doesn't work between the both of you. In other words, in plain English, your flaws, what they don't like about you, and why, in a perfect world, it'd be nice if you would change that for them. I'm just kidding. They probably know that that's not going to happen. But in the better light of this, I would imagine this person is also looking how to accommodate your differences. All right? It shows initiative that they're interested in de-escalation or resolution. All right? They're not, I guess, see this or see you as a bit of a flop. So I don't think their optimism is that great towards you, Aries, but they do hide the potential fact that they want a connection with you, all right? What does that look like? Could it be? Will it ever be a thing? All right? I think this reading could also be suggesting somebody that asks the question, will it ever be a thing between me and an Aries, either ever again, or maybe it just didn't work out the first time. I don't know. They do desire stability between the both of you or something to work. However, your feelings are suggesting that because of whatever happened, you may be reluctant to want to work with this person or cooperate. You may just feel like, well, F them. Or if it's not that bad, even if you're not that, you don't have those kind of feelings, maybe you're just more reluctant to want to play ball because you're just like, I just don't even know if I want to waste time on this. All right, that's what I got for you, Aries. Good luck to you. All right, seems like a sassy person. I don't even know what sassy means. I just know it's like something controversial. I could look it up, but I'm not. All right, I just don't feel like doing that. Taurus. Might start raining and storming, so hopefully it's not going to mess with the connection. Just an FYI, they said it was going to start very soon here. Wow, card comes out already. I guess we'll take that. So, for who this person might be, is Two of Wands reversed. So, I could clarify. No, I'm not going to clarify that. So this is likely a person that is stuck or doesn't know what to do about you. It could be vice versa here, Taurus. You don't know what to do with this person. You may think about them. They may come on your mind from time to time. You may have curiosity about this person. But I think this card could be suggestive mutually, not just their description, that it's something that's just stuck. All right? Typically, Two of Wands, when it's reversed, is just, it's a stagnation card. It's not going anywhere, but it doesn't mean to say it can't. It's just not right now, all right? There's no commitment to any decision. So I would imagine this is describing a person where it's stagnant, stuck, or stalled. All right. Tell me about the person that we're spying on for Taurus. What is this person thinking about towards Taurus? Card comes out. It says Hierophant reverse. What else is this person thinking about towards Taurus? Do have this Eight of Cups, but I'm not going to take it. That can suggest this person's reflecting about what happened with the connection, only because the Hierophant's reversed here. And like the ending of it. What is this person thinking about towards Taurus? Person we're spying on for Taurus. We got too many cards here. I'm going to put that back. We're not reading that many. Alright, we've got the Eight of Wands. We'll take that. Clarify the Hierophant reversed. So it says Hangman. Alright. Whoever this person is, Taurus, is likely somebody that is doing one of two things. They are considering the possibility of things rapidly starting again. This card has one particular thing that's very important to it, and that is rapid acceleration. Something that was potentially stalled or stopped that starts rapidly again. It picks up where it left off. All right. You know, like the best example is like if you got a factory that's got all the machines in it, everything's turned off. Well, you could always turn the power back on, and just like that, things are running again. All right. It's always possible with this card. But the problem is this more so is the Hierophant reverse, the Hangman, because this can talk about two things. One, a person that is trying to look at a situation between the differences you and them have. Hierophant talks about, in the reversal, about qualities that may be unusual or different or unique to somebody. All right? But there is a problem with that. When people are unique or very different, they oftentimes don't fit in with the norms. All right? So this can talk about somebody that is contemplating how you act, how you operate, what you believe in, and comparing it to them. The other side of it is the relationship being over, all right? So there is some consideration, I think, from this person that this may be done for good. All right, but they do wonder if it'll suddenly pick up. How they think that's going to happen, I don't know. All right, but they're wondering about it. How does this person see Taurus? The person we're spying on for Taurus? So it says Queen of Pentacles reversed. So this can be interpreted in a lot of ways, but given, you know, some of my Taurus may not be so forgiving, I won't overstate this card. We'll try and keep it more PG, Taurus. I'm like reflecting back to a couple impressionable comments. That is not me, Wes. ... Just kidding. All right, Queen of Pentacles in the reverse can tell us that this person sees you as somebody that's either unwilling to commit to a connection with them, or you have qualities and attributes about you that make having a relationship with you very difficult. And again, that is keeping it PG. All right, this probably suggests a Taurus that may have a job, may do all the right things. All right, maybe you pay your car insurance, your cell phone bill, your rent, you got a great credit, you do all this kind of stuff. So one would say that's pretty conventional. But this person may view that when it comes to dating you, that's the whole different ballpark. And the way that they may perceive you is that you're difficult to be with, or you are difficult in like making a relationship work, or you have different views or things that you expect. All right. Now, let's not, again, go into the WTF here, Taurus. All right, that's what it's showing. We're just reading it as is. All right, whether you agree with it or not, doesn't matter. All right. What is this person hiding from Taurus? Says Nine of Swords reversed. What in the Lord does that mean? Why are they hiding the Nine of Swords reversed? So that's got to be an escalation of that. Says Five of Swords. All right, so we're going to take that as an escalation energy. All right, this does suggest that what this person's hiding is some type of issues they had with you, is something that preoccupies their mind a lot. All right. This energy already is like Aries, and I'm going to take a wild gander that this is going to be tonight's energies that are going to be going through all the readings in some way, shape, or form. It seems to be about being at odds with somebody and something that happened. All right. This, you can check out Aries reading if you want, Taurus, because they've got a similar message in a different way, but this is kind of talking about a person, if we're treating the Knight of Swords as a worsening of the energy, that it is somebody that is preoccupied about Five of Swords energy. So Five of Swords can be a loss, arguments, manipulation, game playing, drama, name calling, somebody that basically, I don't know, they might have been asking questions about what was fair, what was not fair, that kind of crap. What was told about them. They may disagree with statements you said about them. You know, and this for sure, without question, Taurus, if you didn't have any of this kind of issues with your last person, then they're not showing up here, right? If this person came around to Taurus, how would Taurus feel about them? Says Four of Pentacles reversed. So you would feel that this is somebody that you have already departed from, you let them go, or you moved on from them, or you're trying to tell yourself that. Either that is really a true story, or you're just, again, telling yourself, or I don't know. forcing yourself to be in that position because maybe you just don't want to deal with it. Right. But you may, it's kind of suggestive of Taurus that kind of, if this person came around, you'd just be like, yeah, that ship has sailed. Sorry. What would the tarot suggest Taurus would actually be hiding from this person? This is more just for me. It says 7 of Wands reversed. Alright, well, maybe there's some truth in what that's saying then. Why would it suggest 7 of Wands reversed? Why would it say Taurus is that bad towards this person? It says because it's never worked. Alright, well, it's highly suggestive, unfortunately, of a Taurus that is quite pessimistic towards whoever this person is. Almost like, what's the point? Right? 7 of Wands in the worst case scenario can suggest that behind closed doors you have no faith, and you don't even want to try, which is kind of suggesting again that there's, you know, so that's a problem because that's almost suggestive that even in best case scenario that you would entertain it, or which it's saying you wouldn't, but if you did, it's almost saying that there's a part of you that's kind of like, what's the point? So, I mean, what is best case scenario for this reading is really this. This person's still wanting things to potentially restart with you. Why if this situation is so... If Taurus and this person are so lopsided and at odds with each other, why does this person we're spying on want 8 of Wands? So it says Queen of Swords. This person may want to... Well, actually, let me clarify that before I say what another card comes out. It says Temperance. There you go. So this person... This is the best thing that I can tell you here, Taurus, about this reading, is that out of all this negative energy here, the one thing that is really propping this up is this card, which is suggestive that this person, despite everything I've just told you, still has some interest to reconnect or wonders if this will just restart. All right, the Queen here is going to be you. All right, and Temperance is a card of harmony, balance. It's a great card of trying to find mutual ground between two parties, make it work. How do we not fight and tear each other's head off? Maybe I'm different from you, but can we find common ground? I don't think this is really a sit-down conversation in reality. This would just be, it's either, in my opinion, a coin flip if that will play out like that. I think this person may also have a hint of hoping that life will just kind of line something up and we'll see where it goes. But if that doesn't happen, I'm also not really confident on this person's side because it kind of shows, again, a lot of pessimism. So, but here's the thing to remember here, and I just want to point this out. The Tarot's bringing this up. So one would say that life or God or whatever you want to point to has some interest in this situation. So where it'll go, who knows? But that's what I got for you, Taurus. All right. Sounds like two people that are kind of at odds with each other right now is what it's suggested of. Gemini. Tell me about a person our Geminis want to spy on. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Gemini know? What can we know? Okay, we're not getting anything, so we're going to try get up in deck. Person that we are spying on for Gemini. Who is this person and what can we know? You might not have anybody. So, oh my god. Wow, we are coming up short here. We'll try the Banana Tarot. It's 2 decks, I haven't had anything. Okay, a card comes out. Says the Knight of Swords reversed. So this may be a person that is wary, nervous, or unsure about approaching you, Gemini. Okay. Why am I saying that? This card strongly points to somebody that either just doesn't give a rip, or when something comes on their mind, or they want to say something, they just do it. All right, but the reversal is telling us that there's either some hesitation or uncertainty, or maybe I shouldn't. I want to, but I don't know if I should. This could even be in modern day times, somebody that's writing out a text to you, but then deletes it. Or if I called, how would that conversation go? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's not a good idea. This is probably a person that is doubting whether they should do something. Probably get in the moment. I'm going to do it. Oh, maybe I should. Then they change your mind at the last minute. What is this person that is indecisive or unsure about reaching out to Gemini, or may want to? What are they thinking about towards Gemini? Says the Sun reversed. Who knows what that's even suggesting? What else are they thinking about towards Gemini? Oh my god, why is it so hard to get cards out for this reading? Okay, one card comes out. It says the King of Pentacles reversed. Tell us about the Sun horizontal. Why are they thinking about it? We do have this 8 of Cups here. And we have Emperor. What does this have to do with Gemini? The Emperor going to Sun horizontal. It says something about a new, well, taking a chance with you. And tell us about King of Pentacles reversed. Why are they thinking that? So it says 8 of Pentacles reversed. That's quite negative. What does that have to do with this person? Person that we're spying on, what does that have to do with them? It says, so they fumbled something up. Whoever this person is, Gemini, has this, the way that it's coming out here is unusual for this type of reading. Because typically in the thought section, 90% of the time, it's typically about the sign we're reading for. In this case, it's not actually suggesting that. It's talking about them. This is showing a contrasting energy. And what it's basically saying is some reflection of some sort about them as a person. King of Pentacles in the reversal is not good because it can talk about bad attributes, lazy, lack of priorities, lack of success, loyalty issues, situations not stable, or they got too much on their plate, they don't have their life together. We can just write a laundry list of things, all right? 8 of Pentacles in the reverse can also talk about failed execution of plans. It can talk about ideas that flopped, or putting in the effort into things and it just wasn't enough, or trying. This is like somebody that says, I tried my best, but it just didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. Alright, we have Ace of Pentacles reversed can also talk about flushing an opportunity down the drain, or you missed it, or you fumbled it. Alright. Why this person's thinking about this, I don't know. All right, but it is suggestive that it seems to be bothering them, and this must have some type of relation to you. Why would it have relation to you? Because it's suggestive that they are thinking about how they show up to you, because apparently that may make an impression or a difference. Emperor energy is very strong because it counters all of this, suggestive that this person wants to show up in a positive light here. What the sun is exactly suggestive of here, I'm not entirely sure right now. All right. Full energy is talking about a new start. So it is relevant that how they appear to you seems to matter. All right. How does this person see Gemini? How do they see you? Well, they see you in quite a favorable light. It says Queen of Wands. This can talk about desire, attraction, or this person may feel that you're focusing on being active, or you're doing things. I don't really know, Gemini, but they see you in Queen of Wands is always favorable. It doesn't matter if it's the king or the queen, it's favorable. You can talk about lust as well, talking about sexual energy. This person may still have a lot of sexual interest in you. Can also talk about just in general that there's things about you, qualities, attributes they find desirable. All right, so to see you favorably. All right. I find this also interesting that there is some, the Emperor would be very ideal for the Queen of Wands. Actually, Emperor is ideal for any of the signs. But Queen of Wands most certainly, because they both have fire qualities. So this person may feel that there's some type of synergy between the both of you. Is there? You be the judge of that. No, there's not. What is this person hiding from Gemini? The person that we're spying on for Gemini. Card comes out. It says the Page of Swords reversed. This is highly suggestive in the hiding that they would be keeping tabs on you or spying on you in some way, shape, or form. This is a card when it's reversed that talks a lot about somebody that's being nosy or can't keep their eyes off of you. In other words, I just gotta go and check, see what you're doing. So this is, but the other thing with this card is that they don't typically want you to know what they're doing. All right. What the reason is, why this person is sitting in the background, I don't really know. So they seem to kind of want to watch you from a distance. You know, like maybe you post something. I better go and check it out. They may not want you to, like, they may want to give you the impression like they're not, like, watching you or checking you out or whatever. I mean, and that's even assuming that they can. But it still, again, suggests interest towards you. All right. If this person came around to Gemini, person that we're spying on for Gemini, how would Gemini feel towards them? One card comes out. It says 5 of Pentacles reversed. You'd feel on the outs, or you'll feel pretty disconnected from this person. Why would it suggest 5 of Pentacles? Why would Gemini feel 5 of Pentacles? We also have Ace Cups here. I don't know if that's going to counter that. Why would Gemini feel the 5 of Pentacles towards this person that we're spying on for Gemini? There we go. It says 9 of Cups reversed. That's quite negative. So, if this is true, and a lot of you, again, when I read this portion of the reading, you don't have to agree with it. It's just what the tarot's saying. All right, but 5 of Pentacles is suggesting that it would be a Gemini that's feeling quite disconnected, alienated, or you just, like, even if you're in the same room with this person and the date's going well, it's almost implying like you just don't feel connected to that person, or like the love isn't there. And this card is quite negative next to it, because what it's saying is that rather than the chemistry and feelings of love between each other, like our connection is growing, Because what is the next card after this? The Ten of Cups. Meaningful connections. The reversal is saying that, yeah, we can be a thing together, but we don't have that love. That chemistry isn't there. So this card in the reversal can talk about like romantic situations that are lacking just that, the romance. Meaning that there's sex, there may be like, I don't know, dirty talk with each other, or maybe there's that, and maybe there's excitement about how's your day and whatever, but the actual real love is not there. So that is suggesting a Gemini that's unfortunately feeling kind of alienated or disconnected from this person, which could be quite negative here, because if that is true, I don't know what to think, because the real question is, does that person see that? I don't know. How does this person that we're spying on for Gemini, how do they feel about the Five of Pentacles towards Gemini? It says Four of Wands. They would feel the opposite to you. Wonder why I would suggest such a difference between the both of you. What is the challenge between Gemini and this person that we're spying on for Gemini? Shit. What would be the challenge between Gemini and this person we're spying on for Gemini? Let's use a different deck. It says the Queen of Swords reversed. Why is that? Well, so we've got Page reversed, Knight reversed, and we got a Queen reversed as well. So this is always going to be you. Why would it suggest Queen of Swords reversed as a challenge? What about that? It says Queen of Cups. The very thing that's in question here. A queen that is open to love, wanting love, making yourself known about that. It's almost implying a challenge is potentially a queen that is not communicating that, or resistance to talking about that again. Queen of Swords in the reverse is quite negative as well, because it's somebody that is walled off to this. They're not going to open up romantically. That's almost like it's closed shop. We're not doing that no more. We're done with that. We're past that. That ship sailed. I gave you that already, but now it's gone. All right? It is radically different to the Queen of Swords reverse, because in her case, it can sometimes talk about somebody that's just, again, shut off for business or not willing. They've got a wall up. Is it to everybody? No. But it's suggested to this person there is a wall. So it's saying that there's a reluctance or unwillingness to basically open up. So it could be a challenge here, and I would agree with that. Because it's basically saying in this reading, Gemini, that whoever this person is at odds with you. The way that they view things is different to how it's suggested you see them. All right. Now, am I saying that you are the wicked witch or the wicked whatever the equivalent is for a man? No, Gemini, but it seems like this person has interest towards you, but they're holding back. They probably know how you're going to act. And the tarot's kind of suggestive that they may be right, that you are going to be maybe a little bit more resistant to them. But it may not be as bad as I'm saying it is. But that's what I got for you, Gemini. So good luck to you, okay? You do have somebody that's maybe trying to potentially show up in a different light. We'll see if that actually happens, but it's kind of suggestive they're hesitant about reaching out to you. So, I don't know. Cancer. How are all the crab people doing? I hope you're doing well. All right. Tell me about the person our Cancers want to spy on. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Cancer know? I'm not going to take that. It's 2 cards. Person that we're spying on for Cancer. What can we know about this person? Oh, God, this deck was doing great for the first 2 reads, and it's being a little uncooperative now. Alright, we have a card that immediately comes out. We have Tower. So, this is likely a person of some sort that you had some sort of significant upheaval with, Cancer. Alright, towers are, you know, I guess it depends on who's describing it. But in the tarot, they're not supposed to be good. Alright? Irregardless of what anyone says. Alright? Oftentimes they talk about situations, especially in relationships, where 2 people are together and something doesn't work. Alright? Whether it's one person that's screwing the other person, or both are screwing each other. Alright? Could be people that are living in unhealthy situations, where they disagree with each other all the time. They're miserable. There's lying. There could be cheating going on. Who knows? There's like a laundry list of things that we could really apply in a tumultuous or unhealthy situation. But towers sometimes will disrupt that, you know, especially if you believe in the spiritual aspect of things, the universe, that life will kind of resolve that situation because they can get stuck or stagnant. Sometimes people don't even know. They're eventually asking themselves the question, I don't even know why I'm here. Why am I in this connection? And then another year goes by and they're still there, right? So this can talk about a shakeup or something where it was the final straw, or something happened where it was a massive argument, or I don't know, one of you had enough or both of you had enough. All right, so it's talking about somebody that is of significance here as your person, Cancer. Also, I've got you here with the reverse of this card. Maybe kind of cold to this person. Tell me about this person that we're spying on for Cancer. The person that's being described as the Tower. What are they thinking about towards Cancer? It says 4 of Wands. This card is coming out a lot so far in the reads. So they are thinking about potentially a connection in some type of stable situation with you, or what that looks like. What else are they thinking about? Says Emperor. Again, this card just came out for the last read. Why the Emperor? So we've got High Priestess. Follow one's intuition. What is the importance of the Emperor energy in their thoughts? So it says Ace of Cups. This person may have changed. There's really no context of the Emperor energy in their thoughts. So what is clear is that this person seems to be thinking about things that are the polar opposite of this. Alright? Why do I say that? Because the Emperor is somebody that can be a leader who has a stable situation, whether that's a job, a living situation. They can tell you that they've changed, they've made progress, you know, whatever their situation was, that was then, it's not now. Alright? This can be somebody that was previously irresponsible, that's now responsible. This is somebody that didn't give a shit about going to church, now they're going to church. This is somebody that was lazy as all hell, but now they're running their own business, or they're working 50, 60 hours a week, killing it. Alright? So it's showing up in here as some sort of significance. And what's next to it is a card of stability and a functional relationship, which definitely is the opposite to this. Alright, so, and then we also have the Ace of Cups in significance to the Emperor, suggestive of how do we have this perfect picture? All right. Whether this will actually ever happen is a whole other story, but it's suggestive they're thinking about something to do with this. All right. How does this person that we're spying on for Cancer see Cancer? How do they see Cancer? What is going on with this deck? It's just like, I'm really having a hard time with it. Alright, I guess it's just not happening. Person that we're spying on for Cancer, how do they see Cancer? Okay, a card comes out. It says the Hermit reversed. So, this person may see you as somebody that either is not very revealing of what you think about or what's on your mind. This could be a Cancer that spends a hell of a lot of time keeping their thoughts and their true feelings private. Right? You may have not talked to this person in a long time. You may not have said anything. This card sometimes talks about being distant, uncaring. You're just kind of off in your own world. All right? You're worrying about other things, or even if you are thinking about this person from time to time, you don't reveal it. All right? But the Hermit reverse is kind of more of an extreme of this card. And it's sometimes negative, so it can really talk about something that's been kind of going on for a long period of time, which tells me that, again, it's Cancer that's probably, I guess in simple terms, just hasn't really communicated with this person in a while, a great while. Maybe in the past you were more revealing, now you're not. What is this person hiding from Cancer? The person that we're spying on for Cancer? So it says the Four of Cups. This is Cancer energy. It is suggestive that what they're hiding, this person looks... I also find this cup, in this particular version, all the tarot cards, depending on what deck you're using, are slightly different, especially in the author's interpretation, all right? I would have to check exactly what the author said about this particular deck, because I don't really use it that often, but they do show the cup here being offered to this gentleman who's clearly not enthusiastic about it, all right? Pouting almost, but we have that same cup here, all right? But what is this talking about to some extent? It's a reflection card about the should have, the could have, the would haves, wanting things, wanting reality to be different than it is. All right. In other words, you're not satisfied. This is a person that can have a hard time moving on from the past. Why didn't it work out? Why me? Poor me. This sucks. You know, it should have worked out. It should have been this. But it fucking wasn't. Excuse my language. But, I mean, look at his arms. They're all crossed. There's that lovely cup being shoved right in his face. Just ain't having it. And even worse is that there's the Three of Cups, which is a very positive card in the tarot. He's looking right at it and still not happy. So this is a person that behind closed doors is suggesting is just frustrated. I would imagine this person wanted a different outcome with you. Who knows? This might have ruined that plan. If this person came around to Cancer, how would Cancer feel towards the person spying on Cancer? If this person unexpectedly came around to Cancer, how would Cancer feel towards them? Says the Nine of Swords. So this person may be somebody that puts you in your mind. Probably don't want to be thrown out of that tower again. That could be one potential scenario there. Why does it suggest Cancer would be in Nine of Swords energy towards this person? It says the Nine of Swords reverse the opposite. What the hell? Tell me about the Nine of Swords reversed. Or what? No, actually don't tell me that. What is causing the stress to begin with for Cancer? So this opposite energy is almost implying, if we kind of just don't overthink it, Cancer, is almost implying that this person stresses you out, but at the same time, what frustrates you is you don't want to be stressed about this person. This is like getting frustrated about something being more complicated than it needs to be, and getting, you know, again, you're overthinking it, and it's like, you might even be asking the same damn question this person is. Why is it so complicated? So I'm going to say that both of you actually have similar shared energies. So you may have, there could be something unique about this connection. What is causing the Nine of Swords energy for Cancer? Says Wheel of Fortune reverse. Things just don't go your way, or stuff keeps going wrong. This is quite negative because it may be a Cancer that almost feels that things work out for other people, but when it comes to this person, it just doesn't ever work out. It's like bad luck, or something happens, or something comes up, and you're just kind of like rolling your eyes, like, here we go again. All right, this could also be suggestive of a Cancer that, I'm not saying in the extreme here, Cancer, but there may be some of you that get maybe a little frustrated that sometimes you're seeing other situations flourish or work, and you're kind of wondering, it's like, man, this comes around, this is what I got, it just doesn't work, what the fuck? Excuse my language. I'm not supposed to be cussing, damn it. I'm not allowed to. All right. So, now again, I just want to make this clear. Is this negativity, if it's true, is that towards every situation? I don't think so. All right, it's more suggestive. It's only suggestive to this situation. So this may be a situation, even for a Cancer, that in some ways you want it to work, and you hope that there's something that'll change. But this is quite revealing, because it's almost suggestive that at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, it's like really like not a lot of optimism. It's almost like, yeah, it's probably not going to work. You know, like something will come up, or something will happen. You know, the usual. What is the challenge between Cancer and this person? Person over spying on Cancer. What is the challenge? Says the Tower reversed is the challenge. I mean, that's about as like magical as you can possibly get, to get the fucking polar opposite here. Alright? And I wasn't supposed to cuss. The reason I can't cuss, and here's why. Just because somebody's going to ask you and say, just do what you want. Alright? The reason you can't is because when YouTube does these advertisements, every time you cuss, you have a threshold, and if you go above that, then basically it says that it's not safe to play ads, because some advertisers don't want to be playing advertisements on your channel when you are excessively cussing. All right, I think that's effing ridiculous, but it is what it is. All right. But the Tower reverse is just suggesting the total opposite of it. So it's almost saying the challenge is, how do you guys resolve whatever this was? All right. So in summary, Cancer, here's my final opinion of this reading. You have a person here that, to make this reading work, it has to be somebody that you had a pretty big, significant shakeup or blowout with. All right. This is a person that does seem to have some contemplation about change or showing up in a different light. I think they still have some desire or interest to want to explore maybe what was not achieved, and that was a functional, stable relationship. Is that even possible? This energy is suggestive of a lot of doubt that could ever happen. But this person is thinking about it. This person also sees you as somebody that's quite distant from them. So odds are pretty good that you don't talk to this person, or you really don't reveal much, and there's been a lot of, I don't know, maybe just time has gone by and you guys have grown apart. All right. This person still reflects on all the past, and I think there's a lot of frustration about things that happened. All right. Four of Cups is not just about somebody pouting. It's also a degree on their side of reflecting about all the things that didn't go right. And it's frustrating that if this had worked out a different way, or Cancer didn't have this going on, or whatever, it could have been different. All right. Again, the should-have, the could-have, the would-haves. This person seems to be suggestive for Cancer that they could be someone that stresses you out, or you find yourself just getting in your head about them, and it's like, oh, you know, maybe the past is coming back, and it starts to kind of bring back a lot of memories about the disagreements or whatever. All right. You may kind of just not want to stress about this person anymore. All right. I think there is some similarity in this reading that both of you probably share some type of synergistic energy suggestive that you don't want conflict, you don't want this, and you both would prefer this. But again, the biggest challenge here is that this Wheel of Fortune almost casts a shadow where it's kind of suggestive that there's some type of pessimistic thinking that's going on. And this is kind of like, I'm getting this, and I don't know if this will make sense to anybody, but like the study where they kept shocking the rat to the point where the rat just kind of gave up, you know, because they were so used to like being shocked that even when they turned off the shocking, in other words, the rat could press the button and get the water and they wouldn't get shocked, the rat just, they just didn't. They just gave up, you know. So could that be something applying here where there's just too much battle scarring? I don't know. It's saying the biggest challenge is trying to put this disaster or whatever problems you got between both of you, putting it to bed, all right? Because this can be a positive energy of moving past that, all right? Good luck to you, Cancer, all right? Some of you may just not want to bother. I mean, that's fine. I'm too old for that, Wes. I'm too old. I can't do that. There's not enough power coming. Well, if there's not enough power, then I just don't know what to tell you. Actually, I can tell you something. Like, subscribe, or hype the video. I think that's more than reasonable as a request. Alright, we've already got a card here. I'm going to take that. Leo! Alright, how are all the bargain tigers and my regular lions doing? Alright. May the bargains be with you. We have the Queen of Swords showing up here. I don't really know why it showed up, but it just wanted to. So we're going to see what that's about in just a second here. Alright, but the Queen of Swords is going to be you. So this reading's probably going to be suggestive about something about you. We'll find that out in a minute. Tell us about the person we're spying on for Leo. Who is this person? What can we know? Can I know? Can Leo know? Card comes out. Says the Queen of Wands reversed. Wow. Wow. Most certainly something about you. Alright. Tell us, what is the problem with the Queen of Wands reversed? Because this is highly suggestive they're seeing you in this energy. Guarded, not taking action to them. Tell me about Queen of Wands reversed. What is the problem there? What's the hiccup? Wow, and this comes out. 5 of Pentacles. So, who this person may be is somebody that is feeling disconnected from you. This is a person that may feel a Leo that was once hot and rendy, for this person is no longer. All right, the reversal of this card carries a lot of negative connotations in that it can describe in the lightest, plain and simple, somebody that is no longer taking action or has interest towards that party. Doesn't mean to say you won't talk with them, but you're going to do so with a sword. In other words, it could be a defensive posture. Like, I'll talk with them. If they do all the work and they reach out, then, I mean, I'll respond. But no, I'm not going to be dressed up and ready to go type thing. So this is showing a Leo that's very reserved. All right. The harsher energy, the worst case scenarios, it's describing a Leo that is potentially being very resistant to this person, can't even be very defensive or aggressive towards them. In other words, you're being, you know, maybe your feelings are hurt, and so you're kind of reactive to this person. I don't suspect that's as many of you, but could be. All right. This is like somebody that could even, like a Leo that could be mean towards this person. And the only reason you're doing that is because you're hurt or you're upset, all right? But this person, whoever they are, feels disconnected from a Leo and may feel that you're somebody that's just, again, not really taking any action, or you're resisting them or holding back. What are they thinking about towards Leo? The person that we're spying on for Leo, card comes out, says Page of Swords. This person has interest to contact you or has curiosity towards you. What else are they thinking about towards Leo? We have Lovers here. This person has strong passion towards a Leo, or is definitely thinking erotic thoughts, or something that is, well, I don't even want to say soulmates here, because why am I not going to that? Because if this is true, that you are disconnected from this person, then this person is most certainly still has some attraction towards you. In other words, they haven't walked away. Which means that either there's physical attraction, or there's something that you do, how you act, or something you say, or the way you say it, or your personality that is alluring this person. Because the Page is somebody that can't get enough. That's why they're a nosy little brat. You just want to, like, shoo them away, and they just keep coming back. This person may be attracted or allured to the sex, or something relating to lust. All right. It's possible that it could go into the emotional side of things. Some people say, what about the soulmate part of it? It's possible, all right? But we're not seeing enough energy for that. It's more leaning towards there's some type of sexual interest towards Leo. All right. How does this person see Leo? This person may have also felt, this card also talks strongly about sexuality, that this could have been a Leo that was very passionate or easygoing when it came to that. All right? But now that tap has been turned off. I just can't get enough. How does this person we're spying on for Leo see Leo? It says 10 of Cups. All right, I changed my mind. All right. We are coming back to this Lovers. Everything I just told you still applies. The only exception is 10 of Cups does talk about emotion strongly, because it can talk about solid connections, or somebody that has strong admiration towards somebody, or views them as being somebody that very compatible with, or have a lot of history with. So this person is starting to grow a kind of vibe where they are seeing a Leo as quite more than just the regular person. In other words, there's some significance to you that they see. So if this was a hit it and quit it kind of individual, then they're not showing up here. Meaning, like, you know, you had a very short rendezvous with them and it didn't work out. They wouldn't show up here. This has to be somebody that had generated a connection with you, got along with this person quite well. Well, at some point in time, I suppose. Because it's suggesting you're on the outs now. What is this person hiding from Leo? The person we're spying on for Leo Come on now. What are they hiding from Leo? It says 9 of Pentacles. Why would this person need to hide the 9 of Pentacles from Leo? What would be a reason or something relating to why they would need to hide the 9 of Pentacles from Leo? Says there, okay. So what this person is hiding is a problem here, because it is saying when it comes to you, they're actually not sure. So this is somebody that's keeping their options open. 2 of Pentacles can be choice of lovers, can also be choice of paths, but it leads us to one conclusion. It's a person that doesn't know. 9 of Pentacles is a single card. It is a card where you are marriage shopping. You're in a position in life where, yeah, I want a marriage. But the question is, with who? All right? This person most certainly sees you as a candidate, all right? And even if it's not marriage, it would be somebody that they could see long-term companionship with, all right? But what is this about, all right? It's almost suggesting that you are disconnected from this person. So one would ask the question, is this natural causes? In other words, you guys didn't work out way in the past and it's been some time. So maybe it's just on the light scenario that you're open to this person, but you just haven't heard from them in a long time. I'm not really sure. So that's possible, but it's also possible that you guys just didn't work out and there was some tension between the both of you, and that's why you're disconnected from each other. That's also possible, because this can talk about heavy resistance towards a person. So one would ask, was there some drama? I don't know. There's not enough energy, unfortunately, to tell me for sure. But what is true about this person is they do think about you. And I would strongly suggest that this person is thinking sexual stuff towards a Leo. All right? Which tells us, again, that there's something that you're doing, and maybe it's distance, that is alluring them. All right? All right? With masculine energy, most certainly anything sexual will also bring back the memories of what was, the potential. It could be great again. You and me. Whether that's actually true or not is a whole other story. All right? However, despite all of that, as good as it is, this person is hiding that they are keeping their options open. Why is that? Because most certainly your position or stance brings a degree of uncertainty towards them. I would also argue it's possible they're saying, you know, this could be a pipe dream. It might not actually even work out. Maybe stuff has changed. If this person showed up to Leo unexpectedly, how would Leo feel towards them? The person that we're spying on for Leo says hanging man. You would have to think about it. I mean, well, what would Leo have to think about? What is holding Leo back in relation to this person? What would be holding Leo back, or what would Leo have to have perspective on in relation to the person we're spying on? It says the King of Wands. Wow. So we clearly do have, at some point, there is some chemistry between the both of you. No longer. Why do we have this Queen not taking action towards the King? And it's saying you would have to almost contemplate whether you'd want to invite that back again. What issue? But it still doesn't even really ask the question or tell us what you had issue with. What problem? What is the concern Leo would have with the Hanging Man energy going to King of Wands? It says Emperor. Why is this not telling me? Well, it kind of is, but it's not really what I'm wanting to find from the tarot. It's strongly suggesting there's qualities, potentially, or attributes about this person. And these two things tell us two things that are very important. One, the King of Wands would be somebody that is taking control. It is being dominant. This is somebody that's coming in, leading the way, being committed. Yes, I want, with certainty. The King of Wands is always certain of their actions. They don't second guess things. All right. The King of Pentacles would second guess. The King of Swords would second guess. The King of Cups is kind of in a gray area. All right. But the King of Wands definitely would know what they want. That seems to be a criteria for Leo. So any hesitation would be probably looked as like frowned upon. And the Emperor is somebody, again, that has very stable qualities, desirable qualities, business, you know, manager, leader, owner, got money coming in, doing the right thing, killing it. All right. Granted, this person may not be, check all the boxes or be perfect, but it seems like a Leo that would have to think about it. So I don't know to what extent they're Leo. So this kind of almost suggests that there could be compatibility problems between the both of you. Was that a reason that things didn't work out? I don't know. But it almost implies that you would be thinking about that as would be important. So what is that saying? Is that like almost saying that like last time they didn't meet that criteria? I don't know. What was the problem the last time with this person? Or what was the challenge between Leo and this person the last time they were together? So it says, Knight of Pentacles reversed. It moved incredibly slow, or it got stagnant, stuck, or it stalled. So you guys indefinitely couldn't get it to the next level. So it moved from the ace to the page to the knight. In other words, was going somewhere. Something was happening. And then it went reversed. It just started to grind to a halt. What that reason is, who knows? All right? It even suggests you guys are disconnected. Here's my final impression, Leo. You've got a person here that is considering you as an option, all right? A lot of you may immediately jump to conclusions and say that you're not an option and whatever, all right? At the end of the day, you have to remember something. You're doing the very same thing. You're looking for potential dates, and you're considering your options, all right? Especially for people that have more than one option available to them. It's human behavior. You're always going to be considering who's better than the other ones and who you want more, all right? I've never heard of a person that says, you know what, I'm not going to settle with a person I actually don't get along with at all. I actually really don't like anything about them, but you know what, I'm not going to choose that one. You just don't hear that, all right? Who knows? Maybe there's a person out there that does, but even if that's true, they're the 0.001%, right? So this seems to be somebody that at some point in time you may have tried to make it work with, all right? But it's suggested it started to come to a grind or it stalled, all right? But irregardless of that happening, again, they still see you as an option. But the reason I also think they see you as an option is because they're unsure about your stance towards them. That's important because, again, why, you know, if you're looking at somebody and you like them, you find them desirable, but they're just basically giving you vibes that they're not interested or they're cold to you, well, you're going to have to choose something else, won't you? So let's keep that in mind, that this person really doesn't know what your stance is towards them. All right. The tarot is kind of on the fence here because it's leaning, in my opinion, towards a Leo that is kind of not really displaying energy that suggests I'm on the market towards this person. Maybe in private with other people that you meet, you do, but this could be a problem because it's kind of almost displaying to this person like you're, I don't know, maybe you're just not interested in them. I don't know how to put it. But even if this person did come around, it's strongly suggestive you'll have certain qualities that you're, I guess, looking for or expecting. And that may be something that you're dwelling on, whether or not you will take action or not take action towards this person. All right. You might have your reasons, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right. But that's what I got for you, Leo. All right. I'm not really sure what to expect from this person. I would imagine, given their curiosity towards you, that it's possible you may hear from this person. All right. Just to test where things are between the both of you. Because Leo is hot and they're cold. They're yes and they're no. They're in and they're out. They're up and they're down. Leo has to think about this person, yes. Leo has to take a good think. Because they're up and they're down. Okay, you get the point. Virgo. Tell me about the person our Virgos wants to spy on. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Virgo know? Card comes out. Says the 8 of Wands. So this is somebody that... well, actually, no. I can't really comment too much on this because we don't have enough energy yet. Alright. Why the 8 of Wands? Card comes out. 4 of Cups. So this is revealing with the 4 of Cups. This is suggestive here, Virgo, a person that is hoping and wishing that an opportunity will come along for things to pick up between the both of you. Alright. I actually like this version of the card a little bit better than some of the other decks, but this is kind of debatable because of the fact that one could ask, is he wishing for this opportunity to be given to him, or is he looking at that opportunity and ignoring it? All right. In the other version, and I actually pointed this out in, I don't know, I think it was Cancer's reading potentially, but in that version of the card, it showed somebody that was pouting and they were looking at all the things they had towards them and still not happy. This person's not even looking at what they had, all right? But they are looking at something in the clouds here, which can probably suggest the Ace of Cups, which can be a new relationship or an interest in that. 8 of Wands is very good for getting things off the ground, picking up where it left off. This person seems to be daydreaming is what I'm getting. I wonder if anything's going to happen between me and Virgo. It's been a while. You know, I could go and use that phone and probably find out, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do what I always do and just kind of wish Virgo will do it all for me. Just kidding. What is this person thinking about towards Virgo? Shit. Person that we're spying on for Virgo, what are they thinking about towards Virgo? card comes out. It says the King of Swords reversed, so that's them. What else are they thinking about? Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Tell me about the King of Swords reversed. What is that about? Related to? Queen of Swords reversed. So this person seems to be thinking about you and them having a holdout, a Texas holdout. You're not talking with each other. It's also possible they're frustrated with something that you said. Both of these cards can suggest resistance towards communication. Doesn't mean to everything or everybody. It's just certain people, all right, or things. Or reluctance. This can be playing a game where both are basically trying to match each other's energy. You won't call? Well, fine. I won't call. You don't want to text me? Well, then I'm not going to text you either. And I can hold out just as long as you can. In my case, I can absolutely do that. All right? As an Aquarius, you'll be there for an eternity. Probably not a good quality. I probably need to change that. But so, is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. This person's thinking about that. So, what is that really? What is the significance of that? Somebody's getting frustrated about you guys not talking with each other. All right, Two of Pentacles is kind of negative here. Why are they thinking about that between them and Virgo? It says Page of Swords. What in the hell? Why do they care about it? What does the Two of Pentacles reverse have to do with Virgo? It says Eight of Swords. What is that saying? What was causing the Two of Pentacles to occur in the first place? What was causing it? So it's saying something about a Virgo that was overcomplicating or overthinking or overworrying or bringing certain things up a lot is one part of this. What was creating the Two of Pentacles reverse in general? It says Eight of Pentacles reverse. So something wasn't working or there was bad planning. Two of Pentacles in the reverse can talk about situations that are become unviable. They're unstable. Things are rocky at best. All right? Which typically means that there is, rather than that beautiful harmony, honey, I'm home, hamburger helper on the stove, it might have been more, get your own shit. Maybe that wasn't really received well by the other party. Yeah, I made an excellent dinner just for me. Was there any for me? Oh, sorry, I threw the leftovers out. Hopefully there wasn't that kind of degree of passive aggressiveness going on there. But anything's possible with this bunch over here. You didn't make me dinner last night, so I didn't make you any tonight. I do wonder if there was some type of competitive energy between the both of you. I don't think it was intentional, and I don't think either would have meant it if that is true, but could have been something like that here. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse can also be a problem because it suggests sometimes where a couple can come together in a romantic setting and they try to facilitate something in such a way that it leads to failure. But, here's the but, rather than change it, they basically just do the same thing all over again in a different way. So it doesn't actually resolve something. All right. Again, does that make both of you bad people? No. It just could have been a situation that was a little bit rocky or difficult to make work. This person seems to be thinking about something around that. They may feel that you overcomplicated things way too much or got in your head or complaining a lot. Why this person has curiosity into that, I don't really know. All right. But it shows that that's on their mind. Some of you, again, are going to disagree with that, and that's perfectly fine. How does this person see Virgo? Person that we're spying on for Virgo. It says Three of Pentacles. Wow, wasn't expecting that. Why would it suggest the Three of Pentacles? Why would this person see Virgo as Three of Pentacles now? Why would it suggest that? Why would it suggest Three of Pentacles? It says 4. That doesn't make sense. Fuck, man. Like, nothing about this reading is really making sense to me. How would they know that, though? The Three of Pentacles. What? What does the Three of Pentacles mean for this person that we're spying on for Virgo? From this person's standpoint, what does the Three of Pentacles mean for this person that we're spying on? Okay. Well, we're not going to take those. What does it mean for the person we're spying on, the Three of Pentacles, in relation to Virgo? Ten of Swords. Alright, that's what I thought. So, this person, the problem with this energy here is it's suggestive of a Virgo that potentially is moved on. And you are fixing yourself, working on yourself, but in relation to this person, they are left behind. Alright? Which is kind of a problem. So, this could suggest in some ways they see you as somebody that's already moved on. And why would it be seen as negative? Because it's suggesting they're no longer a priority to you, right? Maybe they were at some point in time, but no longer, right? So they may get the perspective that you're doing just fine, or you're working through your stuff, or you're just doing you. You're just doing your job, you know, uncaring, you're focusing energy onto yourself, right? For them, Ten of Swords is quite negative, so it really isn't like favorable to them, which is suggestive in this reading. This is Five of Swords as well. I'm not going to read on to that, but must have been some significance as well between the both of you. I don't want to throw drama in the reading though, so we'll just keep that at the back of our mind that we saw that. What is this person hiding from Virgo? The person that we're spying on for Virgo. It says Five of Cups reversed. Why would they hide the Five of Cups reversed? What is the Five of Cups reversed relating? Well, it would have to relate to you. Okay, so this would be a worsening of the energy because of the fact that they're still contemplating you. So this is suggestive of a... Wow, I'm going to get the Queen that comes out. I'll take that. So this is suggesting what they're hiding here. A person that is having a really hard time moving past a Virgo. So this is why it's saying in the Ten of Swords came out. This is probably going to be a bit controversial, and it's going to be very unique, I think, to a certain kind of situation. But this is highly suggestive of a person that is viewing themselves as a bit of a victim. Well, not a victim. I don't want to say it like that. I gotta be careful with my choice of words here. But somebody that is like viewing the situation as one part, it's a bummer, the way it worked out. But also there's some part of it that feels unfair, or it's annoying them. All right, there is a lot of thinking about what it maybe should have been and how it didn't go there. This person may have some degree of like finger pointing towards a Virgo. I don't really know if this person's self-reflection would suggest what they're doing wrong or whatever happened, but there's some type of finger pointing towards a Virgo. where it seems like this person's frustrated because in some ways it's almost implying somebody that didn't quite like the outcome and is still upset about it. I don't think this person, it's suggestive, is an emotional wreck, Virgo. That's not what I'm saying. But it is suggestive of somebody that's bothered by the outcome. All right. I think there's still desire for you. But one has to ask, you know, when something gets too, like, beyond repair or too damaged, you don't really have a choice in it anymore. It becomes unfair. Because it's like, now what do I do? It's wanting something you can't have anymore. Especially if your position is no longer interested. If you're not interested in them and you've moved on and that's true, then that really sucks for this person. What bothers this person a lot? If the Five of Cups in reverse is a worsening energy, what bothers this person about the situation with Virgo? Says the Seven of Wands the reverse. Defeat, giving up, or either you no longer caring or trying. So Seven of Wands in a relationship setting can talk about somebody that's willing to fight for a connection, keep at it, put in the effort, but the reverse is somebody that's giving up. Seems to be this person seems to be frustrated about that. So they may have the impression that a Virgo kind of just gave up in the situation. And before anyone says anything in the comment section, I know you're going to be like, I did care, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying you didn't. All right? Just want to clarify that. You may have had, this could have been a Virgo that had very specific reasons why they chose to leave. And maybe you felt like a broken record trying to explain your side of things to this person, and it was falling on deaf ears. That is entirely possible. All right? We're just reading what it suggests here on their side. And it seems like from their perspective, they feel like a Virgo maybe just kind of gave up on the situation. All right? So it's like, I still care, but they don't care anymore. If this person came around to Virgo unexpectedly, the person responding to Virgo, how would Virgo feel towards them? How would Virgo feel? Oh, it's almost like wanting to come out, but we are not going to take that. How would Virgo feel towards this person if they came around? It says Six of Cups. Tell us more about that. How else does Virgo feel towards this person that we're spying on for Virgo? It says Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Tell us about the Six of Cups. What else can we know about the Six of Cups? It says Temperance. So there's actually some favorable energy on your side, but it's split. Why the Wheel of Fortune reversed? What is the problem with that? On Virgo's side, why would Virgo feel the Wheel of Fortune reversed? It says because it's been a struggle or a grind. Here's my final impression for this reading, Virgo. Overall, I'm not going to drone too much on this again because I think I kind of, made my points clear. But overall, this is a person that feels alienated or disconnected from you. From their perspective, it almost suggests, per the tarot, that at one point in time, you and them were a thing. It didn't work for whatever reason. It's suggestive there was some type of issue with things going around in circles or some type of way of doing things that kept on getting thrown into the mix that wasn't working. All right. There may have been some frustration that got generated between the way things became cyclic, like it keeps going around in the same pattern. We're not really evolving or getting better as a couple. All right. Whatever calls an ending, you guys can fill in the blank there for what that truly was. But it is suggestive from this person's perspective that maybe some part of why it didn't work out was a Virgo that was overcomplicating things. All right. feel free to disagree. All right. This person still, again, seems to be bothered about the past, way things went, or they may still have some degree of disagreements. In other words, to you, that maybe your nature or actions had something to do with it. All right. They don't seem to think that you're very bothered. In fact, it almost, again, kind of suggested that you've moved on. While that may seem like a positive thing, this person kind of views it as you don't care. And the energy, surprisingly, is also suggesting somebody that kind of left the situation. So it's almost leaning towards a Virgo, but the other thing is, given when I asked the question, it's also kind of implying a Virgo that may have felt that maybe this person just wasn't caring. So it's hard to say with this reading because you guys must have had some strong similar energy as a couple at one point in time. Not saying you were completely alike, but there was definitely some synergy, all right? Which can be really good, but it doesn't mean to say it works all the time. When it comes to this person, it's almost implying a Virgo that be willing and hoping that things would be better, all right? And there is some optimism with the Six of Cups and Temperance, suggesting there was some interest for balance. In other words, if this person came around, you would potentially be open to it, but provided it was, seemed reasonable. However, the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse is split energy, suggesting that while there's that positivity towards this person and your feelings, it's also saying that you've seen a lot that didn't go well. And it's also clarifying with that in that things not going well, this Nine of Wands is a grind card. In other words, people in positions where they're resisting each other or being difficult or complicated, something that might have been causing a lot of stress. So this kind of is also confirming that there was some type of Virgo that was probably getting frustrated or overthinking the situation. Why would that be going on? Probably because this person was indirectly causing some issues that was complicating things. So in my final view of this, I think both people probably had a hand in this, not just one. All right. But I don't think it was intentional. Just, I don't know. Just the way you guys operate, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I don't really know if this person's going to come around or not. The energy's a little bit mixed, but it does show that they think about you, and there is some frustration. So sometimes that can trigger somebody to want to say something, but we'll see. I'd say your energy overall, Virgo, is actually more relaxed than this person. Assuming that it even applies to you. Libra. Tell me about the person our Libras want to spy on. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Libra know? Says the Fool reversed. Alright, so why is the Fool reversed in the description? Tell us more about that. Got 5 of Pentacles. I'm going to take that. Oh, we've got a Queen here too. Oh. Actually, we don't need to clarify it anymore. Let's just see what else comes out. But Fool in the reverse can talk about somebody that is hesitant towards you. So, Fool energy is always talking about some sort of journey. The question is where and with who, most importantly, especially if your destination is a relationship. All right, but the Fool can sometimes discuss somebody that is either not wanting to take a risk, or they're holding back, or they're unsure. All right, it can talk about some other stuff, but it doesn't really apply here. All right, there is some, whoever this person is, 5 Pentacles, they're disconnected from you. All right, it's just describing this person as somebody that's disconnected, really. So let's just see what else comes out. Tell me about the person we're spying on for Libra. What is this person thinking about towards Libra? This person thinks about you and them, either your past relationship that you had, or what a current relationship would look like now. What else are they thinking about? How to move things forwards, or if things will move forwards. All right. I'm giving those either or options there because it's just that, either or. All right. We have a person, once again, coming back to this. In the world, that's a thing. We already know what this person wants. All right. So this can be suggestive of that, but here's the kicker here. Despite them having interest in a connection with you or viewing that in a favorable light in their thoughts, again, that reversal is telling us hesitation. Probably because they feel disconnected or alienated from you. Maybe I shouldn't. How does this person see Libra? The person that we're spying on for Libra. So something is holding this person back. 2 of Wands. So this person sees you. Well, the problem here is this may not even be true, but it's coming from their perspective that they see you at a crossroads, Libra. So this is basically giving us a couple options here. Either this is suggesting whether you're going to come back or not. 2 of one path goes back to them, one goes off to some other scenario. All right. This could be also choice of partners. Maybe there's somebody already in the picture. All right. This can also just plain and simple be a Libra that's at the decision point. This person doesn't know what you're contemplating. All right. Are they dating or are they not dating? Maybe you're going to get in a relationship. Maybe you're not going to get in a relationship. This person just sees you in that kind of energy. Some sort of contemplation. What is this person hiding from Libra? The person that we're spying on for Libra. It says the 6 of Wands reversed. We're going to have to clarify that because I have 0 idea what that is suggesting. Tell me about 6 of Wands reversed. Why is this person hiding the 6 of Wands reversed in relation to Libra? What can we know about that? Ace of Cups. So this person, unfortunately, it is suggesting in what they're hiding is that despite whatever they're thinking about, there's a very low optimism that you and them are going to work. All right? Or even a new start with you is even possible. All right? So this seems like whoever this individual is, Libra, is somebody that unfortunately is themselves at a crossroads, because this is like when you're looking at something that you want, but at the same time saying you can't have it. FML. What the reason is why this person is like that, I don't know. So that would be hilarious, because it almost be suggesting that both of you are. Well, actually, no, that may not be true, because they're just perceiving you in that energy. We don't know if that. We don't actually know if that's true or not. All right. It did disconnect out there for a second. We do have a storm on the way, so I don't know if the connection is going to be a bit rocky. So please forgive me if there was a little interruption there. If this person came around to Libra, the person we're spying on for Libra, how would Libra feel towards them? Actually, let's ask this instead. Actually, yeah, I'll use this. How does Libra see this person that we're spying on for Libra currently? Wow, it says Queen of Wands, but it's horizontal. What is the reason? So it's actually saying there's a chance you still have interest in this person, but there's also a chance you don't. Which, if it's in the middle, then you're not sure. So, wow, we got Queen here too. Maybe there is some truth in this, because this would be just that, deciding if you take action to this person or you don't. What is causing the hesitation with the Queen of Wands horizontal for Libra? What's causing that? Says the decision to be single or wait for somebody else. All right. Nine of Pentacles is a great card, and again, some of you are watching multiple reads. Not a lot of you, but some of you do. So I'll try to keep these explanations as short as possible. But this can strongly suggest to us, if you are single from this person, that you are A, keeping your options open, B, aware that the situation didn't work and wondering what else is out there, or C, working on yourself and just staying single. In other words, you're not pursuing a marriage, but hey, if the right person comes along, you'd be open to it. All right? So it's almost implying that there's some hesitancy, because you committing towards this person would suggest just that, a relationship. So this is a queen, it's almost implying, a Libra, that is kind of wondering what to do, whether to maybe it'd be best just to stay single, or just maybe, again, also the possibility of just seeing what else comes along. Why would that be the case? It could be that it's a Libra that just is like, I've already blown time on this, I just don't want to blow any more time. You're wasting more time. What is the challenge between Libra and this person? What does the tarot suggest is the challenge between Libra and this person? Says Ace of Cups, so getting it started. And this person and what they're hiding, Ace of Cups going to the Six of Cups reversed. So reconnecting or restarting. But here's something important to remember here. The Ace of Cups is unique because of the fact that it also describes individuals that are opening up their heart. In other words, they're not approaching something with being shut off. Now, immediately some people counter that and say, well, I mean, what am I supposed to do about that? Because, you know, they're cold and closed off and this and that and whatever. And that may be true, right? Because, again, we don't know which person this truly is, but it is suggesting here that in order to really facilitate this, there needs to be a different approach, especially in the romantic department. So affection, being affectionate, approach, and showing romantic interest is would probably strongly facilitate that. All right, but it's pointing that that's a challenge. So that's almost suggesting that it hasn't been going in that direction, and this person is reflecting on that in what they're hiding. Six of Wands reverse is not victory. So Ace of Cups can also kind of suggest your, again, your willingness to be open to this person. You know, if you kind of see them as a dead option already, then that's that. You know, so I would assume it would change the dynamics of this relationship. And you notice with these two people here, they both have brought their cup. So why is it saying that's a challenge? So, anyways, here's my final impression for this reading, Libra. This to me seems like a situation like any other situation where it came together. You guys probably did good for a while, all right? But it's not actually really clear in this reading why it didn't work out. It just kind of almost suggests like you guys are distant now, and it almost portrays a Libra that is hesitant. Again, maybe keeping your options open. This person sees you as somebody that is keeping your options open or unsure. So from their perspective, your interest towards them is low, all right? Is that true? I don't know, all right? In what they're thinking about, they are optimistic, all right? Most times it's kind of negative. In this case, it's positive. So this person does look at probably the best case scenario of how to move things forwards. Chariot can be doing that, overcoming challenges, all right? But again, there's those cups there. This reading highly suggests that that is quite important in this reading, all right? And what this person's hiding. Six of Wands in reverse is a failure card. Evidently, there is something around the romance side of things that has struggled with a Libra and this person, all right? I would imagine when it comes to, if we were to ask, there's probably some degree of finger pointing that's the other person that wasn't doing this or that, whatever, all right? But yeah, overall, it's kind of saying from your side, potentially the idea that you may not be too open to this person, but it doesn't say that you're not, because again, there's that potential. So I would imagine life is going to probably present some type of tipping point where it'll tilt things if nobody chooses anything, all right? Sometimes life will do that. It'll create some little scenario where it'll kind of force somebody to choose something. Whether that'll happen or not, I don't know, or when should I say. But that's what I got for you, Libra. Take it or leave it, all right? There's you with your parrot, probably, you know, doing YouTube or Facebook or whatever. It's just me and the parrot now. Scorpio! How are all the Scorpios doing? I hope all the Scorpios out there are doing great. Tell me about the person our Scorpios want to spy on. Who is this person? What can we know? Can I know? Can Scorpio know? Can the world know? Says the Page of Cups. This is a person that has interest to approach you. You're probably the only sign so far that's suggested anything like that, all right? So this is quite favorable here. This does suggest they have the cup. The only question is, who do they give it to? It could be you, all right? What is holding this Page of Cups back in this person's description? It says a tower. So something happened between the both of you, and we're not going to go too much in the description of the Tower, but there must have been some type of disruption between the both of you. This person seems to either want to apologize, and I'm only saying the apology portion because of this, all right? Page of Cups can talk about somebody that wants to come back around and make amends. I'm sorry. Your story? I'm sorry. That's bad. Alright, so hopefully you won't drag it out of them like that, but what is this person thinking about towards Scorpio? The person that we are spying on for Scorpio, so I'd imagine definitely somebody that you've ended it with here. It says 9 of Pentacles. This card is coming out a lot tonight. What else is this person thinking about towards Scorpio? Person that we are spying on for Scorpio. What are they thinking about? Wow, we get that Tower again. Is that Tower? Split the deck on it. Gotta be some significance for that. First comes out. It says 2 of Swords reversed. So they're stuck on thought about something. What is bothering this person with the 2 of Swords reversed? What is bothering them? Probably that Tower that we just pulled out. What is bothering this person? Wow, fuck me, the Tower. Alright. That was a little freaky, if you ask me. How the hell did that come out again? Okay. How does this person see Scorpio? The person that we're spying on for Scorpio. It says King of Pentacles. What does that have to do with Scorpio? Because that's going to be them. What does that have to do with Scorpio? So we got 5 of Wands. It says the Hierophant in reverse. So it's showing a Scorpio that's unorthodox or different to them. It says 7 of Wands. We're going to put that back. Could have been a Scorpio that gave up on this as well. What caused the Tower? Says the Balance. Temperance. Why the Hierophant reverse? Tell me about the Hierophant reverse. What is the problem in relation to Scorpio? So the connection being over, and it went over the King here. So there's differences between a Scorpio and this person, right? As an issue. So this person sees you as some. So this person sees themselves in a certain light, and when it comes to you, they compare, and you are different to them. Either you act a certain way, you dress a certain way, you have some pretty radical beliefs or something that's completely different to them, so they see that as unfortunately a problem. Alright? So I think this person wonders about that they may think that relationship is not possible. Alright? This kind of almost with Temperance coming out as a problem is almost kind of suggestive that when you two are together or were together, there was some type of misaligning, like where you guys were not It doesn't mean to say you're arguing with each other. I'm not saying that, but it's just it was saying like maybe you guys are getting bored with each other or just seeing things differently. Different visions for life. What was the issue with temperance between Scorpio and this person? What was causing problems with temperance? So it says the 8 of Pentacles, but horizontal. Again, that's not helping me here. Because that's saying then that it was either or, and it was 1 minute it was working, then it's not. So here's what I'm going to say without going in a rabbit hole here. It's strongly suggestive of some type of personality where there's a Scorpio and this person, and both of you are either seeing things, again, as I've already pointed out, differently, or you're disagreeing, or you just have different views or something like that. But one would ask the bigger question, if that is true, then why the hell were you guys together in the first place? I mean, that's why the universe threw it out. This is maybe an opposites attract kind of reading. Don't really see those too often, but this would have to be. I mean, it's strongly suggestive of two people that are opposites of each other. What is this person hiding from Scorpio? The person that we're spying on for Scorpio. What are they hiding? Why does it always say a king here? It's kind of weird. Because we have this, when I asked how they see you, it's a king. Why does... That's something you don't really ever see. Tell me about the King of Wands. So, I'm going to make my initial presumption is that this is a person that still strongly has desire towards you. What is holding this person back? If they have strong desire towards a Scorpio and they're hiding that, why are they holding back? Why not just going to do it? It says 7 of Cups. So, that is a bit of a problem. Because it's saying there's some type of confusion that is going on. Or uncertainty. Let's use this thing. Then we're going to go down another rabbit hole asking why or what that is. So let's just skip that. If this person came around to Scorpio, how would Scorpio feel towards them? Says the 9 of Pentacles reversed. Why is it saying in what they're thinking about? What is the issue with the 9 of Pentacles reversed for Scorpio? What issue would Scorpio have with that? What is the suggested energy? 9 of Cups, so both 9s. What is that saying? Successful. So it's saying something to do with their success or something? Here's the thing. This card directly talks about somebody that is prosperous, successful, and done really well for themselves. Alright, the reversal is the opposite of that. And when I clarify with that, it is immediately pointing out the 9 of Cups, which is, again, somebody relishing in their achievements, success, or whatever. Being confident, happy. Look at what I did! Why does it suggest that you feel like that to them? Why is that a problem? So is that an issue? And why is this person thinking about it? Awfully suspicious. I just don't know how to ask in tarot, like, what that's really about. So is their situation, or is there business that they, or whatever they're doing in life, is that a problem? Maybe you don't find it successful enough. Why would Scorpio have an issue with the Nine of Pentacles reversed and the lack of Nine of Cups? I don't know if it's going to give me an answer or not. Oh, to make it start or make it happen. Here is my final impression of this reading. Whoever this person is somebody, Scorpio, that I think, and this is going to be, unfortunately, in my opinion, a somewhat specific reading, all right? But based on what it just said there, kind of makes it specific, all right? This almost gives the suggestion that whoever this person is somebody that I would imagine is transitioning in life, not from a guy to a girl, not like that transitioning. I mean, these days we have to clarify that. I mean, transitioning where maybe they're making a life change, maybe they just moved to the country, maybe they're moved to a different state and they're not established yet, maybe they're going back to college, maybe this is a person that has just started a new venture in life or a new way of living. Who the hell knows, all right? Use your imagination with that. But there's one problem with that, and that is it can sometimes suggest somebody that is not stable or in the right position to establish something, all right? Why? Because they're still trying to get all that going, all right? This could also talk about living situations. This could talk about financial related things, all right? There's a whole host of things we could probably discuss here, but overall, it's saying something around this person is not conducive for a new start, for a Scorpio. In other words, you're seeing something about them that is like, yeah, you know, if it was in this kind of situation, it could be better, all right? And there might be a chance for us to thrive. But it's kind of implying like it's a Scorpio that doesn't see that with this person. There's also potential that this person's aware of that or contemplates that. Whether that has something to do with you or not, I don't know. It could just be a fluke, but it's almost suggesting that maybe they're aware of that, all right? The other issue is this difference thing. It seems like there's potential different priorities between the both of you. Something around that, all right? I kind of already went over that. In what they're hiding, it also implies a king that still has desire and interest. This is very, like, in my opinion, any relationship setting, if you're looking at someone's interest, you always want to see the Queen of Wands or the King of Wands upright, all right? It's strong passion card because the highest chance of generating chemistry or putting the work in is going to be in the Wands energy with the King or the Queen, all right? That can lead to Cups energy, and it can lead to a whole bunch of other things. But this is a king suggesting doesn't really know what the hell's going on or where things are. Seven of Cups can sometimes even talk about fantasizing. This person may hide that they think a lot of different things behind closed doors but don't disclose it. All right. So to me, this seems like a Scorpio that's potentially like has an opinion about this person and you're kind of hesitant, but it doesn't say that you're closed off, but it's almost like you're expecting certain things out of them and you're not seeing it, which kind of means your attraction is lower, right? This whole tower thing is still a bit of a mystery to me because one has to say, was there a blowout, or maybe it was just you got sick of them or you got tired of them and you left? I don't know, all right? Again, this person seems to want to come towards you. Is that romantically or is that to apologize? All right. So this reading, in my opinion, is a little bit all over the place. It's got a little bit of everything going on here. But I don't know. You be the judge of that, Scorpio. This seems like quite a complicated situation here. So I would imagine this is somebody that's kind of the clue here. It would have been a very complicated kind of scenario. And also somebody I would imagine that's quite kind of different to you. Like, you know, I almost wonder if this is like the jock and the goth girl type thing or something like that. You know, like in Breakfast Club, if anyone's watched that. All right. Bender. we got the Emperor there. Sagittarius. How are you doing, my Sag gang? Hopefully you're doing swell. Tell me about the person our Sagittarius want to spy on. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Sagittarius know? Oh, that's too many cards. Person that we're spying on for Sagittarius. Says the 10 of Cups. This is a person that you had quite a close bond with, or somebody that you had a very strong connection with. Okay. This is Pisces energy. It's nice energy too. We'll see what else comes out. 10 of Cups is, again, it's favorable. There's really nothing bad to say about it. But it can hint to us that you guys had quite a strong bond and a synergistic bond as well. But if that's true, then why would it suggest you're not together? What is this person thinking about towards Sagittarius? The person that's being described as 10 of Cups, the person we're spying on. What are they thinking about towards Sagittarius? It says the 3 of Wands, again, positive. This is Aries energy. And what else are they thinking about? Says 8 of Cups. So we've got double Pisces energy here. Which probably gives us a clue that this person's a water sign. Doesn't have to be Pisces, but it could. Let me get that. What caused the 8 of Cups with the person that we're spying on? What caused the 8 of Cups? So it set it horizontal. I'm going to draw another card. What caused, or what was a challenge that led to the 8 of Cups for this person? Again, so it's saying the same energy again, whether to stay or to go. And that doesn't really help us here. Well, it does. It is answering it, but it's just not the way I'm wanting it to answer it, essentially. So the problem that we have here, Sagittarius, is what it's basically saying is that this is a person, as I pointed out, does seem to have, or it's describing them, as somebody that had a pretty close connection to you. Whether you shared that same view is another story, all right? But again, 10 of Cups tells us about those connections that weren't built in one day. It took time to generate them, all right? With 10 of Cups also comes the familiarity. You remember how they smell, the way they taste, or just things about them. You know, their attributes, their features, the way that they made you a sandwich when you're pissed off. You know, it's little things like that that somebody might, you know, find very alluring and build that Ten of Cups energy, which is fulfilling to them. All right. This person sees a Sagittarius as some sort of desirable object from that standpoint. The problem is, in their thoughts, is split. All right. Whenever you have splitting energy, it's telling us one thing immediately. It's a person that has some sort of positive view, but also a negative view. All right. And that leads people into stagnation and indecision. All right. So sometimes you can get these going around these circle jerks where a person really doesn't know what to do and they end up pretty much doing nothing. All right. One of the thoughts is suggesting the Eight of Cups, which is walking away or leaving a situation. So this tells us that I don't think it's necessarily talking about when this person left you or you left them. I think it's talking more so about if you guys came back together, would it end the same way it did the last time? All right. Three of Wands is also making progress or pushing things through. All right. But the clarifications we got are more suggestive of a stay, should I stay or should I go energy. All right, so there was some type of, it doesn't really describe any blowout or major conflict or nothing like that. It's just kind of pointing out that for some reason, despite all the good I just told you about, there was some weight on someone's shoulders about having to leave. I don't know if it was mutual or was it one person? But this is a concern in their thoughts that we should pay attention to, because it really does tell us that, again, despite anything positive I tell you, there's some concern of a repeat of the past. Because we're always going to ask that question, well, why didn't it work out the first time? So I think naturally people will, think that's a possibility if they come back together again, that it could end like it did the last time. How does this person see Sagittarius? Person that we're spying on for Sagittarius, how do they see Sagittarius? So it says the Seven of Wands. They see you as somebody that's a little bit resistant to them, or you are somewhat maybe standoffish towards them. In the worst case scenario, would be pretty guarded to them. All right. I don't know if that's true or not. Like I'm saying, it may be them interpreting it like that. You might disagree and say, well, that's, yeah, I'm very approachable, Wes. I'm not saying you aren't. What is this person hiding from Sagittarius? The person that we're spying on for Sagittarius. What are they hiding? Come on now. Sorry. Deck problems. Yeah. Says the Justice reversed. Why are they hiding that? Tell us more about the Justice reversed. Okay, so this person immediately thinks something is unfair between the both of you. They don't like this imbalance. The Five of Pentacles is a emotionally disconnecting card. All right. Justice reversed can also describe when somebody is feeling an imbalance and they're getting frustrated with it, or they find that either in obvious conclusions that something is unfair or it's just not right. All right. This person's hiding that, and it almost kind of suggests between these two cards there's some frustration that this person's wanting maybe a deeper level of connection with you, but it's not happening. Well, I don't know if it's because of your 6-foot club that you're holding. That could have something to do with it. Oh, no, you didn't! Oh, God, Sagittarius. You gotta be more approachable than that. This can also, now that I think about it, suggest with justice reversed that something was unfair, because Five of Pentacles can talk about a partnership, a union, relationship that breaks up, ends. Somebody walked away, but it's unfair or it wasn't right. So this could be highly suggestive of a Sagittarius that left the situation. All right. The problem is I understand that some of you are going to immediately say, well, they left me. Well, I don't know what to say in that case, because to me, the way it looks is, why else would this person be upset over it? I don't really know. To me, that makes more sense. I mean, wouldn't, like, they're thinking about it. So I suppose we can still apply both scenarios the way that I initially described it. But when I'm thinking, I see this now, I'm like, well, if they're thinking about this walking away energy, then clearly something about it frustrated them. So maybe they're still thinking about, well, you know, why'd they leave? They left this? Hopefully they didn't really do that, but you know what I'm saying. How does Sagittarius see the person that we're spying on for Sagittarius? We get Hierophant and the King of Wands reversed. Hesitant to want to take that, but whatever. Why do we have this bipolar energy here? Everything's like split. Why is the Hierophant? How can it be the Hierophant and the King of Wands reversed at the same exact time? How's, like, I don't even know where to begin with that. Or what does that even mean? Or what should I be looking at? Any clue would be helpful. Anything at all. So it says the 9 of Swords. Who knows? Maybe that's telling about me. You're overthinking it! Let me ask how you feel. How would Sagittarius feel towards the person we're spying on if this person came around to Sagittarius unexpectedly? What can he know? Says the Moon. You'd be uncertain. Why? And again, it's suggesting something around that here too. Why? I mean, what is the Hierophant even doing here? And how Sagittarius sees this person? I don't understand that. It says, again, the opposite. Why didn't I see that? Here is my final analysis of this reading. Whoever this person is, Sagittarius, now that I've seen this energy over here, it is entirely possible that this was an individual that, as I've already pointed out 500,000 times at this point, was quite fond of you. All right? What that looked like to them and what it looked like to you, who knows? All right? But to this person, it's suggestive. They found a lot of things about your connection quite good, at least from the emotional side of things. All right? Their energy shows split energy, as I've already pointed out. One side of that is looking at pushing things forwards, maybe, but waiting energy as well. When will that happen? The other side is reflecting on this walking away or leaving energy. I already gave my analysis on that. Is that frustration that a Sagittarius left, or is it something else? Or is it, like I said in the beginning of the read, is it them contemplating about maybe it'll just end the same way as it did? I don't know. There's heavy suggestion in this reading of vacillation between staying or going. All right, which tells me that despite there being some chemistry at some point, for whatever reason, it stopped working. All right, Your energy seems guarded towards this person. It doesn't mean to say that you hate this person, but it's for some reason suggesting there's some wall there. Maybe this person is somebody that can be great when it's great, but also a problem when it's a problem. All right? Why am I saying that? Because this is almost suggesting, on the one hand, how you see them. This would be highly favorable, the Emperor and the Hierophant. Why would that be favorable? Because both of those embody stable qualities. They know what they want. Marriage, kids, doing the right thing, leadership by example, good morals, good values, level-headed, good direction, making good choices, can rely on this person, that kind of stuff. But the other, not so much. That's going to be the polar opposite of that. Somebody that could lose their temper, pout, 1 minute they're there, then they're not, in and out. Maybe I want this, maybe I don't. So who knows, maybe they were the one that walked away, I don't know. But there's some concern it's suggesting about that for a Sagittarius. I don't know. What the hell am I supposed to think with this big old moon over here? That moon is also suggestive of some type of uncertainty. So one thing is very clear in this reading. It's a Sagittarius that is wary to this person. All right, so there's clearly more to the story than I'm seeing here. But what's the bright side here? You still got somebody that's a nosy Sue. But to me, they may be a difficult person. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is kind of one of those situations where it's like, yeah, you know, I kind of like him, but damn, like trying to deal with them is another story. All right. Let me ask this from the Crow Tarot. What is the challenge between Sagittarius and this person that we're spying on? What is the biggest challenge the Tarot can suggest? Tarots are like, there's too many. I just God, why wouldn't you answer that one question when I asked what the challenges were? It was the whole deck, my son. Oh! No wonder I just couldn't figure that one out. What is the challenge between Sagittarius and this person? It went over the 7 of Wands, whatever this is. It says the 8 of Swords, and it went over 7 of Wands. So a challenge is coming back to a Sagittarius. And I'm only saying that because this 9 of Swords is on your side. And it went also to a description of you. Look at those two right there. You and them. In this giant cage. And there's that, look at that moon right there. And this was on your side. So, I don't want to be biased here, but it's all pointing to you. Just kidding. All right. I don't want to full fuel in that fire. But in all seriousness, Sagittarius, it is suggesting in the challenge potentially some type of uncertainty. And you know what? I just noticed there's another crow here. Actually, it may be the same crow. No. It's kind of hard to say. It really depends who's reading the tarot here. But one of these crows is nesting. What the hell is this crow doing over here with this other one? It may be suggesting that this crow, aka you, might be wondering if this person's dicking around with somebody else. I'm at home right now, netting all these damn feathers. Where the hell is that bastard? I bet they're out somewhere having margaritas with whoever Tiffany was. I saw it in the phone. I swear to God I saw it. Get the hell out of here. Hopefully it wasn't like that, Sagittarius. Good luck to you. Alright, some of you are going to be like, hell with that, I want me. Okay, well, that's what I got, so what do you want me to do? How many signs? I have 3 more signs to go. Breakfast at Tiffany's. That was a pretty good time in the past. Used to hear that song all the time. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Alright, with a Captain Cola. Capricorn. Wow, this already comes out. Queen of Wands reversed. We'll put her back in. But we did see her. Alright. Tell me about the person that we're spying on for Capricorn. What can we know about this person? Person that we're spying on for Capricorn. A card does come out. It says the Seven of Wands. Boy, this card is making rounds today. Okay. Tell us about the Seven of Wands. What can we know about that? Wow, I split the deck on the Seven of Wands. What are the odds of that? Wow, but behind that is a king. Look at that. I mean, this king really looks very cocky, though. It's kind of like... I don't know why the Aries did that. Whatever. So, we'll just stick with Seven of Wands then. So this could be a person that has their walls up. Capricorn. But it did show that King of Cups, which says that there could be a soft spot behind whatever this guarded nature is. Best case scenarios, it can suggest somebody wanting to fight for connection. I don't think that's going to be the case here. Let's see what it says first. Person that we're spying on for Capricorn. What are they thinking about towards Capricorn? And we have that Queen popping up here. I guarantee they're wondering if you still care. We have Three of Swords reversed come out. What else are they thinking about towards Capricorn? So it says Three of Wands reversed. Why are they thinking about Three of Swords reversed? What can we know about that? Person that we're spying on for Capricorn, why are they thinking of that? The Three of Swords reversed. What is on their mind? Do we have this Knight here? We saw that Knight there, so that is almost implying somebody that may want to come back around. But here we see the Five of Pentacles. After the Three of Swords reversed, what is that telling us? It's telling us somebody that was feeling the ouch after leaving you for a period of time. But it's showing a reversal here, which means that that period's passed. Okay? Either it recently passed or it's been passed for some time. Alright? But it hasn't... Here's the thing, though. Even if this is past energy, it hasn't gone to the Four of Swords yet, which tells us that this is a person that still has interest in the Capricorn. That isn't done with them, but they are feeling disconnected to you. All right. Typically, if we saw like the Four of Swords reversed, it's going to tell us that whoever this person is has left the building. They've moved on. They're past this. This is fresh. Still saying that it's a person that still has a wound that hasn't healed. Well, I don't want to say hasn't healed, but it's moving slow. All right. Three of Wands reversed is just talking potentially about something that's stalled a little bit. There's no real progress, or things have progressed backwards. And we have somebody leaving here. Some similarities a little bit to Sagittarius' reading. How do they see Capricorn? The person that we are spying on for Capricorn. How does this person see Capricorn? So So we have, they see you as Hierophant. What is their interest in Hierophant towards Capricorn? Person that we are spying on for Capricorn, what is their interest in the Hierophant energy towards Capricorn? It says 5 of Wands. What in the Lord is that talking about? We'll come back to this. See what else comes out. What is this person hiding from Capricorn? Person that we are spying on for Capricorn. What are they hiding? Kind of a vague reading. We have this 5 of Wands again. It says 7 of Pentacles. Why are they hiding the 7 of Pentacles? What can we know about that? Page of Swords. What the fuck is this reading saying? What is the 7 of Pentacles relating to? In relation to Capricorn. So it's giving very like vague cards that are generalized, but the problem is trying to connect what are they going to. Otherwise, they really don't carry much meaning or significance here. What is the 7 of Pentacles? What does Capricorn have to do with the 7 of Pentacles? That's all I need to know. So we have that 4. What does Capricorn have to do with the 7 of Pentacles and this person, what they're hiding? Doesn't tell me. Card comes out. It says 2 of Wands. Potentially a path forward. What is the challenge with the... What is the challenge with Capricorn and this person? What is the challenge with the 7 of Pentacles for this person? It says coming back into the fold with you. This is suggestive in some vague way here, Capricorn, and this is like really like, even for me, the way it's coming out is a little complex here, but this is almost suggestive of a person that is seeing having a connection with you as kind of difficult, all right? It's posing the challenge of them basically being on the outs with you, but at the same time coming back into the fold with you. Only question, I suppose, is if you're going to do that or not. This Page of Swords going to 7 of Pentacles is like almost like suggesting some type of speculation of what is coming to fruition and what is actually the result. Like what this person is getting out of this. So this person seems to be evaluating the situation in some context. In plain English, from what I'm getting, the way I'm looking at this, is this seems to be somebody that is basically evaluating where they're at with you, and what they're actually getting from it. Like, in other words, if you guys are going nowhere, then that is really something to take into consideration, that maybe this is just going to be that, nothing. All right. I think this person does have interest in a connection with you, but the way their energy comes out is very just weird. All I can say, it's vague and cryptic almost. If this person came around to Capricorn, how would Capricorn see them? Person that we're spying on for Capricorn, if they came around to Capricorn, how would Capricorn see them? Come on now. This is 10 of Pentacles, so that is pretty favorable. Why would how would Capricorn feel towards this person? If they came around unexpectedly, how would Capricorn feel towards this person we're spying on? How would Capricorn feel? Just one more card. How would Capricorn feel towards this person that we're spying on for Capricorn? So it says that's two different opposites. Why would Capricorn see this person as 10 of Pentacles if they feel the 2 of Pentacles reversed? I can't ask that, so I have to ask something else. How else does Capricorn see this person that we're spying on for Capricorn? Uncertainty. So it does kind of suggest optimism, but you're uncertain about this person or wary to them. When those the person that we're spying on for Capricorn, what do they focus on in relation to the past with Capricorn? Can I know? What do they focus on? 2 cards coming out. So they have 4 of Cups and the 6 of Cups reversed. Why the 6 of Cups reversed? What can I know about that? It says 9 of Wands reversed. So again, it shows disappointment. This is my last question, then I'm done with this reading. Why was the 9 of Wands reversed? It says because of a tower. All right. Here's my final impression to this overly complicated, ridiculous read. Capricorn. First thing is, what were you doing? What is this? All right. Anyways, whoever this person is again, has just wildly complicated energy, which tells me that in the world of the tarot, whoever this person is somebody that vacillates emotionally heavily, or they're a bit all over the place. The only consistent thing about this person is that there seems to be some interest towards you, but it seems like it's unhealed. Whoever this person is not somebody that moves past things. Like they may hold on to it. I would expect this is a person that could pout or hold on to a grudge, or doesn't let things go very easily, right? Some people just are very good at walking away or healing past things and moving on. This person seems like they're stuck or something like that, or something bothers them. The thing is that what seems to interest this person is this idea of reconnecting with you. But at the same time, they're viewing it that there's like, it's difficult, it would be difficult to have a connection with you. Whatever that means or why they're thinking that, I don't really know. All right? There is evaluation, and again, it's kind of suggestive of some type of decision around this. So I don't know. This almost kind of tells me that this person himself is not even sure where this is going to go and if it'll ever be a thing. All right. Their remote past shows that there was disappointment. We got the Four of Cups here, the Six of Cups reversed, Nine of Wands reversed, and this Tower, which tells us that there was some type of slowdown or breakdown in the connection where things kind of got, I don't know, it could have been just entrenched in a certain way, right? Sometimes relationships can grow really well. This is not that. It would almost imply that it may have got stale or stuck or rigid in a certain way. So instead of flourishing or growing, it started to become, and it doesn't mean to say it was bad all the time. It's just saying that at some point it started to become inflexible. Maybe either side was kind of, not really saying I love yous or doing much for each other anymore, but you're still together, But it seems like it got inflexible, and it could have been both sides even that were in this state of wanting more, but not seeing it. In other words, you wanted them to be more. And how you see them is confusing as well, because it's almost implying like there's potential there, but you're unsure. You feel this either the situation of this person is a little chaotic, unstable, which, in my opinion, is true based off this reading. So I'm not really sure what to make of this reading, if I'm honest, Capricorn. This, in my opinion, seems if we again believe in the spirituality and the universe and all that kind of stuff, it would almost imply that this reading is only happening because of the manifestation of this person or whoever they are, because it's going to be more than one person in different situations, but it's a manifestation of some sort of frustration. In other words, you're thinking repetitively about a person, aka a Capricorn, but it's almost like unresolved tension that is fueling this. What their end motive is only kind of suggesting to reconnect with you, but in what way, I don't really know. Like, what is their goal? I'm just not really seeing like anything that's really suggesting romance or anything around that. It seems like they just want to be like with you or reconnect with you. What is their game plan after that? I don't know. Good luck to you. I am so done with this reading. Normally I don't mind your readings, but this reading sucked. It's very complicated to read it. Or make sense of it. What is this? Aquarius. All right. Capricorn's reading was, in my opinion, quite complicated, so I'm really hoping for the Aqua reading it's not going to be that difficult to understand. All right. Tell me about the person our Aquarius want to spy on. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? Can Aquarius know? Card jumps out. Says the Nine of Cups. Interesting. Why the Nine of Cups? Why does it describe this person as Nine of Cups? Says Justice reversed. Whatever. Alright. We'll come back to Aquarius. Tell us about this person that's being described as Nine of Cups, Justice reversed. What are they thinking about towards Aquarius? Well, we had Seven of Cups want to reverse on us there, so we'll take that. What else are they thinking about towards Aquarius? Card comes out. It says Four of Swords reversed. Alright, moving on. Why is Justice reversed here? Tell us more about Justice reversed in the description. So it's saying Temperance reversed. So this is a person that wants something to work out with you, Aquarius. But there's a problem. It's suggesting that it doesn't seem to be going that way. And it's citing that there's differences between the both of you. This person seems to be in some sort of contemplation with a lot of thoughts going through their mind. You, them, a box of chocolates, a human head? Why did they put that in a cup? I've never understood that. It's just like, what was this author doing? This is like one of those things where they're like, they'll never know what I was really doing. It's like a Hannibal Lecter thing. Anyways, they said it's imagination. Four of Swords reversed. This is positive because it tells us about healing and moving on. But is that from you? Why is that in their mind? Because that's to you, so that's almost implying maybe I just need to move on from Aquarius. How does this person see Aquarius? Person that we're spying on for Aquarius. How do they see Aquarius? We have Moon here. Person that we are spying on for Aquarius. How do they see our Aquas? Six of Wands, so they see you as doing well, but whatever, we'll take that. So this is almost implying that they see you doing something right with your life, all right, in some way, shape, or form. Whether you perceive it like that, who knows? But this, if that is true, then it must be a person that hasn't been around you for a while. So the only way that they would be able to see what's going on is if they have access to anything to do with your social media, all right? What is this person hiding from Aquarius? The person that we're spying on for Aquarius. It says Queen of Pentacles. So that's you. Tell me more about that. What is their interest in Queen of Pentacles? So we have the Page here. So this is someone that is hiding that they want to reach out to you, or they're seeing qualities about you that are favorable or desirable to them. So the only good thing that I like about the Queen of Pentacles is that that sometimes gives us a clue, because it's oftentimes somebody that is looking for long-term things, or a partner that is flexible enough to sustain the test of time. All right. So, in my opinion, it can be seen as playing it safe, but the Queen of Pentacles or the King of Pentacles are often, if we were to have to point the finger to the safest option, it would be their energy, because it tells us about, you know, somebody that may have good values, or they may be boring, but, you know, they're predictable and they do the same thing over and over again. Could be a homebody, maybe plain and simple. They're not the, you know, wild and out type thing. Even if you do have a bit of a active life, Aquarius, it just can talk about someone that can be relationship material, but it's not in the interest of the short term. It's somebody that can be suitable, and that's the key word there, suitable for a long-term connection. In other words, I could put up with that, all right? But it doesn't mean to say it would work. It's just saying that they're seeing qualities like that. So there's some interest or attraction towards that. But I think the problem that this person's facing is that it didn't seem to work the last time. So one would have a big question mark here. So seeing good qualities, but didn't work. Okay. If this person came around to Aquarius, how would Aquarius see them? It says the Sun reversed. Why would Aquarius see this person as the Sun reversed? So there is some type of moon energy here with that. It's the Seven of Wands. You may feel that this person's a little bit guarded, or not transparent about that, or somebody that is hiding that they're guarded, or hiding that they're a bit reserved. How would Aquarius feel towards this person responding? So this kind of almost implies a slight sense of distrust towards this person. It says you would feel temperance reversed, and there it is again. So you've had some sort of issue with this person before. What is the challenge between Aquarius and this person in relation to temperance reversed? It says walking away and things stalling. Why would that be a problem? Or no, I mean, okay, obviously for obvious reasons, but why is that going on? Why would it suggest that? What causes the Eight of Cups to occur? How would I answer that in tarot? Why does the Eight of Cups occur? What is one potential reason the Eight of Cups? Well, and then we have the Three of Swords. So that would almost just imply a separation. So that doesn't help us, because that's not going to tell us anything. It's like saying obvious. Well, somebody broke up, so that's why they walked away. Well, that doesn't help us. What was a reason somebody wanted to walk away? But then it'll say temperance reversed, or something around that. So maybe that's not the question to ask, because we have temperance reversed here already. So if that's the challenge, is walking away. It's stalling. That doesn't make sense. I mean, well, it's hard to know because if this is the challenge, that's saying why, like, that's saying that that would almost imply that keeps happening, or it's an issue, the main issue. Why? What does Aquarius and this person, what is a potential thing that they don't get along with or something? I don't think the tarot can even tell me that. It said there's a lot of stalling or indecision or something around that, or blocked emotions, or I might ask one more question. What, the person that we're spying on for Aquarius, in relation to the past, what does this person focus on? Card comes out. It says the Hierophant, the High Priestess reversed. Why do they focus on that? Tell us more. So we have that. Wow, I kind of want to take all of this. With it's almost telling a story there. So you have Ace of Wands reversed, delays in the relationship, stressing, or someone walking away. So someone worried about someone walking away. Have the Lovers there too. So this could be, that might be a clue there. Aquarius, here's my final impression of this reading, alright? Whoever this person is, maybe somebody that does overthink things, or there could have been one or both that were worrying about the state of the connection. I do wonder that, if that's a possibility here. It shows some sort of imbalance, but the problem that I'll be honest with is I wasn't really able to figure out what really the source of that imbalance is. The tarot seems kind of vague around that. It just keeps kind of suggesting there was some rift between the both of you. And we have to remember that the upright of Temperance is a balanced harmony. In other words, you two would be laughing, playing, you get each other, hey, I've got a problem with this, or something's bothering me. You guys would talk it out, be able to work it out, and that'd be that. But it's saying like that seemed to be a disconnect. So either one was not receiving the other's issues well, or something kept happening, or you guys saw it differently. Maybe you tried to address problems and you couldn't quite do it. I don't know. Something around that, but it's pointing out that was an issue. But they are aware that there's a lot of like a haze between the both of you. They do see you as favorable, but again, there's still that haze and doubt or uncertainty. It kind of suggests that you are a little bit unsure about them. It also kind of may imply a degree of suspicion towards them. In other words, you don't really quite trust them. And that may be because of the fact that you don't really know what they're truly thinking or what they're really intending. Which tells me maybe communication could have been a problem here. High probability. Alright. What is a mystery, a final mystery for Aquarius and this person we're spying on? For Aquarius. Give me a mystery card, just anything. Can we go? I'll just ask a mystery card. You're only so I'm going to ask it for and just see what it shows. Mystery card could just be anything. Anything at all. There it is. So we'll take that. Wow. So we'll end that off, and I'm not even going to try and figure out how that's even possible, but it is suggesting that, again, this is assuming that we believe the universe here, that somehow through this may be a future potential, all right, between you and this person. Again, if that happens, great, all right. So that's what I got for you, Aquarius, all right. What an odd reading. It just seems to me that the problem here is that it's suggesting two people that quite have some differences, and it doesn't really explain for say what that difference really is and what's causing it. That's the problem with this reading. All right, but at least on the bright side, this person does see some long-term potential there. I already went over that. And the mystery, oddly enough, is showing long-term potential. So how the tarot or the world, or the gears of the world kind of turn to make that happen, I don't know. Good luck to you, Aquarius. Kind of interesting. This person also does kind of suggest, has interest to potentially want to reach out to you, but make themselves known. Pisces. All right. Let's finish up strong. Tell me about the person. Our Pisces are not, or no, we're not doing that video. Wow, we got a card that came out. So it says the Seven of Swords. Interesting. I guess we'll take that for who this person is. All right, so this is somebody that is potentially evasive. We won't comment too much on that Pisces until we see what's in their thoughts, all right? Something about the person our Pisces want to spy on. What is this person thinking about? The person being described as Seven of Swords, what are they thinking about towards Pisces? So we have Seven of Cups here, so we've got double sevens. What else are they thinking about towards Pisces? This is the World. Tell me about the Seven of Cups reversed. What can I know about that? So we have this Knight here. This kind of tells me this person does have interest in you to grow something. So we do have 10 of Cups reversed to come out. Maybe not. Why the World then? Solaris. Okay, so they got split energy here. So one is good, one is bad. How does this person see Pisces? The person that we're spying on for Pisces. So it says they feel disconnected or estranged from you or on the outs, which it kind of does imply here with the Seven of Swords that whoever this person is somebody that is kind of in the shadows. They're on the outs. You may not... it could even be somebody that's like been long gone for a while. This is kind of negative, though. I'm going to be honest. In what they're thinking about towards you, there is some concern there that, from their side, that you and them don't really have a bond anymore. So it could have been there at one point in time, but that may have left the building. All right, but on the bright side, there's still optimism that you and them could still be a thing. But again, split energy is a problem energy because it's showing indecision, and indecision can lead to stagnation because you don't know. I mean, how are you supposed to know? One's bad, one's good. What is this person hiding from Pisces? Person that we're spying on for Pisces. What are they hiding? It says the Three of Swords. So this person is still carrying some type of pain or disappointment, all right, from whatever the separation was between the both of you. Even if they walked away, it could just imply that this person's disappointed. They may have regret. In other words, maybe it wasn't the best decision, what I did. Maybe they went after another guy or girl, depending on who it is, you know, and it didn't work out. And then there's like, you know, I kind of blew that situation. It was kind of stupid of me to do that. If this person came around to Pisces, how would Pisces potentially see them? Person that we're spying on for Pisces, how would Pisces see them? You would see them as the person that walked away from you. Well, even if that's true, it does suggest that, you know, there is some regret on their side of things. They may be like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Okay. How would Pisces feel towards this person that we're spying on if they came back around? Says you would be unsure about it. Well, we've got Hangman, so it's not to say you'd be like closed off, but it's almost implying that you would probably have to have a think about it. Alright, well, what is the challenge then between Pisces and this person that we're spying on for Pisces? Says repairing things or working on things again. Why is this person being described as Seven of Swords? What is the reason for that? Or what can I know? Or what suggestion? Why are they being described as Seven of Swords? It says Ace of Swords. Again, something that is suggesting secrecy. Why is this person being evasive or secretive? We've got the Queen here. Person that we're spying on for Pisces, why are they being secretive or evasive? Says they're waiting? What the hell? Jesus. Person sounds a little bit like a stalker. What is the challenge between Pisces and this person overall? So it says the challenge is Six of Wands reversed. Failure. Why doesn't it work, typically? What leads it to Six of Wands reversed between Pisces and this person? What causes that? We got Temperance also reversed. Don't get it wrong. Why did this person walk away the last time? What can the tarot say? So it said Two of Cups reversed. And it said Ace of Pentacles. So I do wonder if this person went back to an ex, or this person went to go and start sitting elsewhere. Or that's you, or it's saying if it's not an ex, it's they left this situation with you and went to start something else. What is the mystery? What can the tarot say about a mystery in relation to Pisces and this person? Wow, it says Wheel of Fortune. Here is my final opinion for this reading. Pisces, right? This is a little strange of a reading. Well, it's not that strange, but it is suggesting the strange part is who this person is in the Seven of Swords and this Ace of Swords reversed. So this is a person, again, that's evasive, or they're wanting to say something, but they're not. What is the reason for that? I don't know. Is it possible, in the worst potential case, that maybe it's describing this person as somebody that you felt was a bit of a cheater? Hopefully not. All right. You may feel that this person is somebody that is kind of secretive, or they don't really tell, you kind of found them to be somebody that hides things, or they don't really give you the whole truth. It's possible. All right. Some element of mystery around that. I already kind of went over that this person does kind of potentially see that the worst case scenario is the connection has been severed between you and them, and it's unlikely to come back. All right. At the same time, there is some faith on this person's side that they could be wrong, and there's still a potential for you and them to be a thing. Could be. You don't know. They see you as being disconnected on the outs, which, again, kind of makes sense, which is, I think, also why it's fueling this theory that you and them are disconnected for good. All right. One of the challenges is it seems like you and them have, well, it's actually, in my opinion, a little hard to really know with the Six of Wands what that was really referring to, but it's often at times a success card in the upright. It tells us when there's challenges between two people and they overcome it. But it's saying here that never happened. What the reason is, I don't know. It also kind of implies that you see this person as somebody that left you, and that may bother you. All right? And in your feelings, it's almost like you'd have to think about it or really kind of reanalyze it. In other words, you're unsure about this person. It does kind of suggest this person left potentially for an ex or a new connection, or that was you. I don't really know. But it's almost implying that somebody may have left for something else. All right. One of the problems it's also suggesting is cooperation with each other, or working on things, or trying to repair things seems to be a challenge as well. All right. In what this person's hiding, it does kind of point out that there is some type of regret or disappointment, which I've said like 3 times at this point. But the mystery for this reading is the Wheel of Fortune, which tells us that the universe is going to do something here. The only question is what, and I don't know in what way. All right, but it may potentially bring you and this person together. I'm not saying for a relationship. I don't know in what context, but maybe your paths will cross again with this person one more time. Wheel of Fortune can be favorable though, so it's not always bad. But How the universe would plan that or do that, I don't really know. That's what I got for you, Pisces. All right, hopefully you got something out of that. If you did, please leave a like. I would really appreciate it. All right, we are approaching 3 hours and 30 minutes, so I think my tarot reading for now is done. If you have the ability to hype the video, I would appreciate that too. I will see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.